Last time on Square Roots, nestled atop the cliffs that rise from the Sword Coast, the Citadel of Candlekeep houses the finest and most comprehensive collection of writings on the face of Faerun. You have spent most of your 20 years of life within this keep, under the tutelage of the sage Gorion. Lately, Gorion has been growing distant from you, as if some grave matter weighs heavily on his heart. You cannot help but feel that something is terribly wrong. In Baldur's Gate.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I'm joined by Matthew Van Zant.
Hello, my internet connection is unstable.
John, half-orc, Brandon.
How did you guess?
Just tell by your face.
Yeah.
And Vanessa.
But ho! Tally fair travelers, for we's to be playing a old proper RPG this time.
And this is a podcast where we play and talk about your favorite classic RPGs one chunker at a time.
Yay!
And we are beginning our playthrough of Baldur's Gate.
Yay.
Baldur's. That's what we're going with.
Baldur's Gate.
Everyone
Baldur's
loves...
Gate.
That actually sounds like the real pronunciation, isn't it?
I think it's Baldur's Gate.
Do they ever say it? I'm sure they'll
I
say
don't
it.
know.
Baldur.
They definitely mention it. I don't know that I've heard anybody say it yet.
Baldur's. Oh, it's not pleasant in the mouth. Baldur's.
Well, it's like Norse. So
I just want to say that I like what Vanessa was putting down a minute ago. I think that much like our famous Sierra Roots episode that Johnny and Vanessa did, where they talked like they were on NPR the whole time, we should spend this season talking like ye old timey Shakespeare characters.
My
Forsooth,
character
Jim,
talks like what's his name from Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and all, and the Transporter.
Jason Statham.
Yeah, he sounds like Jason Statham. He's like, yeah, I guess I'll get right on it. Yeah.
this is our first Dungeons and Dragons game on the podcast, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
I
Well,
think you're
other
right.
than Pool of Radiance.
Did we
Because Dungeons
play
and
that?
Dragons is
Yeah,
for
you
nerds.
didn't like it. You thought it was like
That must have been a
math.
long time ago.
Oh, I remember that. That was hardly a game. That was like a pre-Nintendo Entertainment System era game.
Ah, it's great.
Ugh. Atari graphics. Can't do it.
Your Atari graphics.
Sorry. Atari graphics, governor. What ho? I simply cannot abide.
I refuse to talk like that.
Wow.
But there's plenty of characters like with strong Canadian accents and some with American accents. Some sound like Pete from Kingdom Hearts.
You're
From Pete?
You're supposed to yes and Jim. This is an improv podcast.
It is not.
Oh, jeez.
This is a serious
Did someone say
dissection
improv?
of interactive media.
It's me, Improv Death.
Would you rather talk like a Shakespeare character or
Die.
no, would you rather talk like a Shakespeare character or have to wear heavy armor all the time? Johnny.
Is the armor hot looking? Is
Yes.
it like sexy?
Oh no. No, it's like clunky hot is in temperature hot.
I guess talk Shakespearean because I hate being too warm.
Okay. Vanessa?
You ask me houst I'd rather talk, or if in armor I would walk. To you I
You
say
don't have to
it
be
is
in
very
rhyme.
good.
They didn't
I
all
shall
talk in
talk
rhyme in
in
ye oldie
Shakespeare way.
times.
I think
Well, I guess
Vanessa's inner
Shakespeare,
monologue
yeah.
is probably like that all the time.
Fucking Etrigan the Demon just entered the podcast. Jim, are you going to talk like Shakespeare or are you going to wear that hot, heavy armor?
I'm going to wear that hot, heavy armor.
Hell yeah. That way
Wait,
nobody
Vanessa,
can
does
hurt
that
you.
mean we have to all
Right.
speak in iambic pentameter?
more like a Iambic Poonslammiter. That's when
Whoa.
you mash up Shakespeare and the 1990s style poetry slam.
Oh, I thought it was like an iambic Poonslammiter, like getting it on.
Iambic
Hey,
Poonslammiter.
Yeah.
This is,
Famous Square Roots character,
Jam.
Iambic Poonslammiter.
Jim, it's turned into an improv podcast.
Prithee,
No.
I have had 5 vodka Red Bulls and shall turn into iambic Poonslammiter.
Yay.
John,
Yes.
happy Bear Day.
Thank you. Forced I am dummy thick.
And
Should
also,
say
you
I
like to
art
hibernate
dummy thick.
and eat
I
salmon
arst-
straight out of the river.
Dummy thick. And mine athsist cheeks keep clapping and alerting thine guards. This is all both of y'all's fault.
I didn't do it.
I know.
can't tell who you're
I was pointing
to.
down. I was
There's-
pointing at
there's-
Vanessa and Matthew.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I guess Jim is the most innocent party.
As always.
You'll want
What are
to.
we doing
on this
here?
podcast?
I said it.
He already
I said it. But
I
yeah,
can,
we got to level up though, because we're doing a brand new segment now that we have a new game. We're doing a new game, I guess. New game for new game. This time, Vanessa's got a stupid game.
That's right.
What's it
Jim's
called?
stupid game is out, and Vanessa's stupid game is in. It's called Answer Smoosh.
answer smush. Uh-oh.
All right.
Is this going to be like your Christmas stuff?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Okay. Yes, you do. You were on a
It's like
pod.
your Christmas
Alex Horn
stuff.
talked about your Christmas stuff.
I
Oh.
don't know what you. Okay, I do know what you're talking
Rem-
about. I'm not
yeah.
going to admit to it.
Okay.
You already did.
All right, well, go back and listen to that episode then. I'm not admitting to it.
Are we
again.
going to talk about
That was your level up on one episode.
Yeah, it was. Are we going to talk about our history with this game first, or are we going to do that
No,
before
we're
the
going to
quest
level
log?
up. We're going to play Vanessa's stupid game, and then we're going to talk about our history with the game, and then we're going to talk about our character creation, and then we're going to talk about the quest log.
Yay!
Fine,
I want
Vanessa.
to level up first.
Oh.
No.
Jim
I'm gonna go
always
first.
horns in and goes first.
He's
Because
not
if
trying
I
to
don't
tell us
say
what
I'm
he
going to go
did.
first, I always go last. So I'm going to go 1st. So I have been power washing my little man heart out.
What?
I did all of the new Power Washer Simulator DLC. I cleaned Laura Croft's manor.
Lara.
I cleaned her treasure room. I cleaned her obstacle course. I washed her boat and her Jeep. I
Jim,
washed her four-wheeler.
She's not going to sleep with you, bro. You got to move on.
It doesn't matter. As long as
she's
she
just
paid
been
me, and
like,
she paid me.
oh yes, of course I'll go out with you. Just power wash my Jeep, please.
And then I took a little jaunt to Midgar and cleaned Cloud's motorcycle. I cleaned that little truck that you escaped the Shinra headquarters in Disc 1.
Wow.
Final Fantasy 7.
Cloud's not going to sleep with you either, dude. This is getting sad.
I cleaned Tifa's bar. I cleaned that Airbuster boss, and I cleaned the guard scorpion.
How was cleaning Tifa's bar?
It was fun. That was probably my favorite level of the whole thing.
Where's the
Did you
dirtiest
get to play
part?
darts?
No, but I cleaned the dart board.
Is there a
Was
toilet?
Tifa there, and do you get to spray your power jet washer at her chest? And does she
Oh,
do-
my
No,
T-shirt!
it would be great if I could wet Tifa's.
So what Vanessa is asking is, does Tifa have jiggle physics? I almost said jizzle physics.
You don't see any characters. You got
Zangief
you
has
get, like,
jizzle
You get like
physics.
You get text messages from the characters. Like I was getting messages from Tifa as I was cleaning her bar, and messages from Laura Croft as I was cleaning her stuff. But
I believe it's
otherwise,
Lori.
you don't really see. Lori Croft. Lori Croft. I liked cleaning Laura Croft's treasure room too because there's a T-Rex in it, and there's like a big fireplace, and got some really high ceilings. So you got to use your extra long extension to clean those.
Feels like a
It's
power
really fun.
washer would not be the appropriate tool to use to clean a T-Rex.
Or a ceiling.
Or a
gonna strip-
dartboard.
You're gonna
or
strip
a bar.
paint. Yeah.
It's fun though. It's fun. Let's see, what else did I do? Oh, I did a I just finished another playthrough of Resident Evil 7, and this time I did the not a Hero DLC starring Chris Redfield.
Ooh.
Which I played for the first time, and it's really cool. It's cool being able to punch the molded in their heads and explode their heads.
What is that? Is that Resident Evil 8?
Resident Evil 7 DLC.
And Chris is like,
it's free right now too.
I'm not a
and
hero.
it's super fun.
I'm not a savior. Forget what you know. Boop, 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 boop.
Let's see. What else did I do? Nothing. I'm gonna go see the new John Wick movie over the weekend. But
Oh, yeah?
that's a future level. That's a pre-level.
I don't think I can handle. I love those movies. I don't think I can handle 3 hours of John Wick.
Apparently, it's a justified running time because the action set pieces are so neat.
Are you not going to honor Lance Reddick's memory? You're just going to...
I will honor Lance.
No,
Reddick's
Matthew.
memory.
He's like,
Oh.
I'm not going to see Lance Reddick's last film.
Yeah,
How do you know it's his last film?
That ain't
Maybe
gonna push
he
me
has
into
some stuff
seeing
in the can.
in
That's
theaters. I'll go see. I'll see it when it comes to video. When it comes to
VOD?
when it comes to Blockbuster.
Yeah. Hey, did you guys see that the Blockbuster website's active again?
Yeah.
Couldn't care less. I did see it and was like, who fucking cares?
You know what? I think if Blockbuster opened up, I would go there. I would. I'd become a Blockbuster member.
And watch it on what? Like Blu-ray? You'd be a Blu-ray boy?
Yeah, I'd be a Blu-ray boy. I might even rent a video game or two. That'd be fun.
I was talking to a 18-year-old kid today, and he asked me if I knew what Blockbuster was.
Why were
weird.
you talking to an 18-year-old?
You know what I
To the
find?
house.
What?
I find
Chris
the
Hansen
Blockbuster
shows up.
nostalgia strange
This
because
setup looks a
Blockbuster was
little
the worst.
Pervy.
It was pretty bad.
Blockbuster, by the time I became a patron of Blockbuster, it was pretty bad. But in its heyday, when they were selling like popcorn and
It was the
all that
most
kind of stuff,
expensive of the chains, and it definitely had the highest late fees and all that stuff. Like, it
And
was
they
always
re-edited the
worst.
movies to make them less
Yeah.
horny.
rewind fees.
Well, I don't
I had a
know.
little neighborhood video store I used to go to all the time, and the people there knew my name, and I got to rent videos and have a little chit-chat. It was pleasant.
I would always go to Shea Movie, and they had like 4 O's in movie in Pierre fonts because they had TurboGrafx games.
Movie.
All right, Matt, how did you level up?
What? Oh no. I have been playing a great hot new Xbox Game Pass game. You all know it. I'm sure you've all played it and are crazy obsessed with it. That's right. I've been playing Guilty Gear Strive.
We all love it. We're all big fans of your favorite Guilty Gear enemies like Fred Bad Guy,
Soul Bad Guy.
Bridget,
Kai Ski or something
There's-
like that.
Bridget, who I believe...
I think Bridget is a BlazBlue character.
I thought Bridget was Guilty Gear.
Well, if Bridget's Guilty Gear, she's a secret character that I don't have access to yet.
Oh, I don't know. There's also like Big Bear Green Jacket. Isn't that Guilty Gear guy? I don't know. his
I don't
name.
know. I don't know who that is at all.
Happy
I've been
Bear
playing-
Day to him.
Guilty Gear Strive. It's the hottest new fighting game from Arc System Works, I think is the name of the company.
Are they the ones that do the Persona arena there?
Yeah, I think so. And they do the BlazBlue games, and they did the Dragon Ball Fighter Z, which is a fantastic fighting game. I have talked about this on the shows before, and
Look at Chungus just waiting for Jim to come back.
I like fighting games a lot, but only for like a week, and I've been playing it for like 4 days, so I'm already kind of on the outs of this game. But it's a lot of fun, and I've been playing it. It's free on Game Pass. It's super fun. I said that 3 times. It plays like a Street Fighter, basically, but I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it. It's crazy. It's cheesy. It's got a story mode that's just a fucking anime, basically. Like, there is no fighting game component to the story mode. Just sit back and watch these characters talk. It's weird. Anyway, Guilty Gear Strive. Good fighting game. Deep combat system. Got that punch and that kick, and then like a heavy slash attack, and then like a light slash attack, and it's pretty easy to figure out. It's got them Street Fighter-ish style moves, like half circle, press the button. So that makes it nice and easy to figure out. Like you can just, if you played a Street Fighter, you know how to play this game, so you can just kind of figure it out as you go, and that's nice. And yeah, good game. Definitely check it out if you're into them fighting games. I'm going to keep messing around with it, though I don't know if I will play it for too much longer, because fighting games are hard.
Fighting games
suck at fighting games.
Are hard.
It's got a weird thing where if you go into arcade mode, it doesn't seem to give you the option to like pick like easy, normal, or hard. It just throws you into a hard match, and if you lose, it throws you into a normal match. But I did manage to beat it on hard with one of the characters, one of the easy characters to use, so that was kind of neat. But like, unfortunately, it seems very much like a game, like most, I guess, modern fighting games that seems to be very focused on online play, and I don't want anything to do with that. I can't fight those boys. They're all good at fighting games, and I'm bad at fighting games. Anyway, that's it for me. That's all I did, for sure. So, Johnny, in honor of Bear Week, tell us how you hibernated. Did you get some nice fresh salmon out of a stream?
When
Are you waking up from your slumber?
You can bash them against rocks.
Marmalade? Maybe you ate some marmalade.
So I do have a nice crinkly surprise for everyone here.
Oh.
A nice. This is from Awesome Socks Club. You might know
You're doing
them.
your ASMR thing, and I don't like it. Stop tickling my ears.
You might know them as Hank Green's business, where you buy. It's a sock membership, and each sock you purchase supports Partners in Health, creating better health care in Sierra Leone.
I thought you said hell.
Health. Is this a horror situation? So let's look what today's socks look like. Okay, I'm just going to use this.
How's this a surprise for us, though? This seems more like a surprise for you.
Well, sure, why not? But it's here, so let's just do it.
It's
The best
clear.
unboxings.
Get used to it.
I think the best unboxings don't include a visual component.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And please call it an unsoxing.
It is an unsoxing. So it looks like a wacky guy.
Those are amazing.
He does look like what's that? Lupin. He kind of looks like Lupin.
Yeah, it does kind of look like Lupin.
These are like aqua socks with little lupins on it. They're quite nice. All these socks
Got
are always
a very long
pretty
nose
nice.
that curves up towards his forehead, which is
Like a penis.
like a penis.
Yeah.
It's a nice color. It has black and white dots on it, as well as lots of lupin heads, and they're all making the expression.
All right. So other than getting some new socks, which I have so many pairs of socks now. I've been just a member of this club for a little over a year now and have 15 pairs of socks from them. And they do last a while. So I haven't got any holy ones.
I only wear the no-seam socks these days.
Oh.
That's because
No-seam.
you won't wear long pants.
I wear long pants when it's cool.
It's Pride Week, so he's going to wear his
Florida, it's never cool.
his jorts, his little jean shorts, his cutoffs.
60 degrees last weekend.
Yeah. Who wears shorts? Matt wears shorts.
shorts.
It's true.
So, I don't know if y'all know this, but the 3DS, you won't be able to buy any digital games as of, I think, Saturday or Sunday. So,
Well, I
by the
heard
time you
about
listen
it,
to
but
this,
I didn't care.
you can't
How's the
get any more
PayPal
digital
looking?
games.
Should I go through and break the bank? You know what? I don't like playing games on the 3DS. It hurts my pinkies.
Yeah.
Hurts
yeah.
your little thingies.
So I don't think I
no.
will. I think
But
I'll
I
just
do
have to
have-
wait for things to come to Switch.
I did buy for $3 Super Street Fighter 4, which is a really impressive version for a little system like that. Rufus does sound like Homestar Runner. I forgot because it has some different cutscenes than the first game, which is the one I remember playing. And boy, Rufus is dumb sounding, but that's okay. I also on the Switch bought Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles because it was on sale for 17 Canadian dollars or like, I don't know, 12 US dollars. And that sounds like a fun bonus episode. Although I know it's also on like PS4 and 5 and Xbox and stuff.
There is a Square Enix sale right now on the PlayStation. I wonder if it's on sale.
Yeah, because I think that would make a great bonus episode.
Yeah, you've been saying that for years.
Do a fun, because it's not, I don't know. I can't see us working through a 30-hour RPG together. I just don't see it happening, right?
Yeah, I agree.
We're busy.
We don't like to spend that much time together.
We work different shifts. I'm on night shift. I'm on West Coast. They're on who knows what coast some of these people are on. South, Florida, Texas.
I'm on the Gulf Coast. Thank you very much.
Vanessa lives on the mysterious floating city of Zeal. And yeah, but I do want to play it. And so I've asked a couple of people. I know Bobby Midkiff says he's going to try it with me on Switch. But yeah, I'll see if it's cheap. I'll pick it up on PS4. I'll go take a look later. Anyway,
it's not. It's $30.
Yeah, that's not cheap. I wouldn't pay $30 for it. Yeah, so that's about it. Haven't had much time to play with my brand new steering wheel this week. I've been Baldur's Gating. This game's pretty long. What about you, Vanessa? How have you been having fun times and leveling up?
How I've been having fun times leveling up is I started season 2 of the Netflix show Shadow and Bone.
What? Shadow and Boner.
Yep. You may remember the show as being the most tropey YA-based show on television.
Ooh, then Willow came out, so...
Well, I'm talking about specifically romance tropes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Ooh.
Oh, you're the one I've been waiting for all my life, but I'm a bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so cold. We're going to have to share this bed for warmth. Oh, we're friends, but I'm too closed off and emotionally unavailable to love you.
Does it have a Billie Eilish sound moment? Like song
what
choice?
What do you mean by that?
Like bad guy plays, when the girl's being bad.
Oh, yeah, like a needle drop.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
I guess the show is a mashup of like a
Shadows and Bones
trilogy of books as well as a prequel series.
Correct.
That came out, which is why it felt the first season in a way felt kind of uneven.
Mm-hmm.
I remember thinking it was good enough to recommend to you, but I said to you the other day, so I'll just say it again here. I keep looking at it on Netflix and kind of going, I don't know if I want to watch this.
I'm enjoying it, but for what it is, which is a pretty silly tropey show, I messaged a friend who also watches it and said I'd started the season and was excited to see which tropes came to pass, and suggested a few of them, like more bed sharing or fake relationships or friends to lovers, and spoilers for the first few episodes. So far they've all come to pass.
Oh, boy.
It's pretty great. If you like, I guess, any kind of plot that you might see in any fan fiction about any show or book ever, you'll like Shadow and Bone. It's a well-made show. It has good actors. It's not breaking any new ground, I would say, but it's really fun to watch.
Do you feel like it feels more even than the last season did so far?
No.
I don't know all the details on that. I wonder if they are still mashing the two books up or the two series up.
They are, yeah. From what I understand, the first trilogy was about the sort of main girl and her issues.
And her love triangle.
Her love triangle. And the other books were about this group of thieves and ne'er-do-wells.
6 of crows?
Yes. And they were, I think, by far the more popular characters. So when Netflix made the show, they're like, we'll just have these popular characters in this story and see if we can make it work. But that does lead to a lot of, like, the one group of characters doing one thing over here and the other one doing another thing over here. And it doesn't really work, but I don't care. It's super fun to have on while I play Baldur's Gate. Or
I'll have to check it out.
The
Since
other
you seem to
game-
be enjoying it.
Yep. The other game I'm back into, I'm back on my pixie dust.
Mass
Disney
Effect?
Dreamlight Valley is still going strong.
I was thinking about getting that for Haley for her birthday next month.
I think it is not a bad idea if she likes like Animal Crossing or Stardew Valley kind of games.
I mean, those are the two games she's still playing.
It has slowly been releasing more content and characters. It has little toys from Toy Story. They're super cute. They lie on the ground and pretend to be inanimate. It charms me. Now it has Mirabelle from Encanto. And it has everyone's favorite Kingdom Hearts 3 character, Olaf.
Ew.
Yeah, you can be friends with Olaf. You can give him presents. You can hang out with
No
him.
thanks.
You can have conversations with him. Make all your Olaf dreams come true with Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Does it have Clarabelle Cow?
No. Oh, gosh, I wish.
Oh, man.
Clarabelle
Does it have
Cow is
Oswald
my
the
second
Lucky
favorite.
Rabbit?
Oswald is my favorite. You two have
Yay!
named my two favorites. Oh, man, if it had Clarabelle Cow and Oswald, I would move everyone else's house to the far corner of the map. And just have me, Clarabelle, and Oswald have the run of the whole place to ourselves.
Who would I guess I'd have like Jeannie and Pete. And am I missing anyone else I would have?
Maybe like Stromboli.
Who's that?
That's the guy who put Pinocchio into the cage.
I don't
What
know.
about what about the big monster from Monsters Inc? Sully.
Oh yeah, sure, Sully, and then the guy from the live action 101 Dalmatians who was in I Think You Should Leave as was it Jimmy? Remember that one?
Oh, Paul Walter Hauser.
Yeah, Paul Walter Hauser.
He's tired of Jamie Taco stealing all of his
Jamie
lines.
Taco. That's sorry, Vanessa.
It's all right.
When does the new season come out?
The new season of Disney Dreamlight Valley? I
yes.
don't know. And that, I think, is the entirety of How I
Wait,
Leveled
Vanessa.
Up.
I
Yeah.
have a Disney Dreamlight Valley question.
Oh, okay.
Have you completed all the new content?
No.
Is there a lot?
I don't know how you would define a lot.
I don't know. So I guess it's like animal. Like, is there like storylines or anything?
Yes, there are
Okay.
storylines. Basically, every character has 10 tiers of friendship. And so you...
Oh, it's a bit like Persona.
Yeah. You unlock their friendship by like hanging out with them and doing stuff, and then every few tiers they have something special that they want you to do.
Which character do you think is the most annoying that you have friended?
I have 100% extremely strong feelings about this. The character that is most annoying and who is my arch nemesis, and if I could, I would banish them forever from the island, is Minnie Mouse.
Why?
Oh, she's awful. First of all, she's condescending. Every time I walk past her, she says something like, "Good morning," no matter what time of day it is. Or she'll say to me, "You're adorable." Excuse me, I'm a grown woman. I don't need a mouse telling me that I'm adorable with her stupid polka dot bow bobbling around on her big old bobble mouse head.
Do you
And
think
Why
then
does it matter if she's a mouse? Are you prejudiced against mice?
she just
Mouses?
happens to have a mouse head. She
Do
was
you
a
think-
human,
And you
she
don't
doesn't-
like it, and I don't like it.
Do you think that she's saying good morning sassily because you wake up too late? Is that what?
Yes. She's
Oh.
judging me.
Okay.
That's what I do to my daughter when she sleeps in really late.
Yeah,
Good
and I don't need
morning.
it. I don't need it. And to add injury to insult, one of her special friendship quests was to build this clock tower. You know, most of these quests, they'll be like, oh, can you build something for me? You need like 5 wood and 5 iron and 6 pieces of glass. She was like, hey, can you build me this clock tower? I need 99 pieces of wood, 110
Oh, you definitely
pieces
did
of
tell us about
stone."
that. That sounds
Yes.
super familiar.
So what I have done just recently, I think I did it yesterday,
Yep.
is I moved her house right next to that clock tower. So every day she had to walk out her door and look at it and think about what she did.
Can you hit her over the head with a shovel like in Animal Crossing?
I wish I could, but it's not actually allow you to pickaxe or shovel the mice. But I did say to her a very cruel version of Hickory Dickory Dock that implies exactly where she could stick her clock tower.
Wow.
And that's how I leveled up. Mm-hmm. That's all of us.
Yay!
Cool.
Vanessa's
Now we're ready for
game.
Vanessa's stupid game.
Yes, hi. It's time for Vanessa's stupid game.
What's the name of your game? Oh, you already told us. What is it? Smash Mouth?
Answer Smush.
Answer
Yep,
Smush.
it's called Answer Smush. Here's how you play Answer Smush.
Okay.
I am going to read you 2 clues. You are going to take the answer to both of those clues, 2 different answers, and smush them together to create
Okay.
one answer. I have an example because
Isn't this like a card game or a party game that people do?
it's like a card game or a party game that people do, but it's completely original because it's called Answer Smush.
TM,
That's
TM,
all right.
TM. Copyright
I
Yeah.
stole
Vanessa.
my game from somebody, so
TM, TM, TM. If you've maybe heard of a game called Answer Smash, that is not this. We are playing Answer Smush. I've prepared an example. The example is not intended to be guessable by any of you because it is my example question. But if you'd like to try and guess, you may. So, to remind you, I am going to read 2 clues. Then, this is very exciting for the Mats in the group, you get to buzz in.
Oh, I love to buzz. Apparently is a
Yay.
thing that you misunderstood from me telling you that listeners in the Facebook group said we should buzz in.
You get to buzz in by saying your name.
No,
Okay.
I want to say buzz.
Fine, you can say buzz.
Yay!
Buzz.
All right.
Buzz.
So, yes, Matt? Would you
I like
to make
saying
a guess?
buzz.
that's just testing his buzzer.
I'm testing my buzzer out.
My puzzle.
I shall now read the 2 clues. Number 1. The first of a classic Square franchise to debut on the PlayStation console. Number 2. A 1954 film musical based on the Stephen Vincent Bennett short story, The Sobbin' Women. Can any of you guess the answer to either
You told
of
us not
those
to guess this one.
questions?
You did.
I did tell you. I thought you might have been paying attention anyway. All right, I'll continue to explain. The answer to the first clue was Final Fantasy VII.
I knew that.
The answer to the second clue was 7 Brides for 7 Brothers,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I
which
didn't know
means
that.
the ultimate answer is Final Fantasy VII Brides for 7 Brothers. See
I
how
understand.
it works?
Yes.
Are all of the clues going to be video game related?
Half of the clues are going to be video game related.
Are half of the
And
clues
the other
going to
half
be things that
are
we've never
what?
heard of?
Yeah.
Yes.
I hope it's not about 50s theater.
Nope, that is why I made that the example question, because it was not guessable by you. Someone could have done it. Not you
Probably
guys. I
like
couldn't have done
Tracy
it.
or something.
Tracy could have done it. Are you ready to play Vanessa's stupid game? Answer
Buzz.
Smoosh.
I'm ready.
Yeah, Buzz.
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 Yep. Go ahead.
Yes.
Yes.
Good job. That was not a scoring round, unfortunately.
In fact, you're both disqualified.
Aw.
Round 1. Clue 1. This action RPG featured a touching cutscene between a father, a son, and a robot named Steve. Clue number 2. 1999 science fiction comedy film that parodied a popular TV franchise.
Buzz.
Johnny.
Buzz. Rogue Galaxy Quest.
Correct.
Nice.
Nice.
Yay! Who's keeping score?
I'm keeping score.
Okay.
How many points are these worth?
1.
Okay.
I like it. I hated
Round
Jim's scoring
2.
system.
I don't give a shit.
Question 1. Religious holiday celebrated annually on December 25th. Question 2.
Oh, come on.
This game featured a parody of a popular song by the Victorian-era duo Gilbert and Sullivan.
Buzz.
Johnny.
Buzz. Well, why aren't you Buzz? Do you want
Oh.
to try first, Matthew?
Matt.
No.
I think I know what it is.
Matthew,
go ahead,
you
John.
go first.
That's not how games work.
Okay,
You
fine.
buzzed.
Christmas Effect.
Incorrect.
What?
Buzz.
Oh, you
Jimmy.
fuck.
Chris Mass Effect 2.
Correct.
Damn it.
Round 3. 1994 role-playing game featuring 8 protagonists and 9 separate scenarios. And your second clue, Paul McCartney wrote this song for a film of the same title.
Buzz.
Johnny.
Live and let die.
Correct.
That's great.
Round, what are we on? 4. First clue. Clover Studio developed this game based on Japanese mythology and folklore. Clue number 2. This actress co-wrote and starred in the prequel to the horror film X as this titular character.
Buzz.
Matt.
Okami Pearl?
Incorrect.
I tried.
I'll read the second clue again.
Can you read
This
the first one again?
actress co-wrote and starred in the prequel to the horror film X.
I thought you said
Can you
You're
read
right,
the
I
first
did write
question
it
again?
wrong.
so.
I'll read
Can
the
you
question again.
can you read the whole thing again?
Okami
Yeah.
a goth.
Yes, Matt got it.
Yeah, screw your buzzers. I got it.
I
just
apologize.
jumped out.
That was
I cheated.
confusingly written, so I'm going to give it to Matthew.
Yeah, I would have got that
I
too.
thought
'cause
you
I
were
was-
referencing the title of the movie.
Yeah.
I thought you were referencing the name of the character. I am the smartest person alive. I got 1 point. You guys heard it. I got 1 point. It was kind of a
We
cheat.
all have 1 point.
I didn't buzz in, but I'm going to take it anyway. Johnny has 2 points.
No, I have
Round
one.
4.
Don't I? Do I have 1 or 2
No,
points,
you have 2
Vanessa?
points.
Johnny has 2
No,
points.
you have 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Round 4.
5.
Round 5. Actress Viola Davis was widely snubbed during the 2022 awards season for her starring role in this historical film. And your second clue. The first entry in this series taught us that this, without a doubt, is light.
Buzz.
Jim.
Ah, damn.
The Woman Kingdom Hearts.
Correct. Round whatever.
6.
6.
How many rounds are there?
I wrote a whole bunch. I was only going to do 5, but I'm having fun.
Okay.
Yeah, Jim, your game took 40 minutes every week.
That's because you guys wouldn't shut your traps and let me read this.
That's a lie.
Legacy
That's
of
a
Cain.
Legacy of Cain. Is this game about a legacy?
Do you want to do 3 more rounds?
Yeah,
Do it.
well, let's make it
Yeah.
10. Make it 10. So
Okay.
this
Yeah,
is
make it
round
10 total.
6, 7.
Wait, no,
6.
make it 9, so
Yeah.
it's even, right?
That's a great idea.
Divisible by 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Clue number 1. According to its Wikipedia, this game incorporates Jungian psychology, Freudian thought, and religious symbolism. And clue number 2. According to its Wikipedia, one critic wrote this game contained potential frustration, pointless squad commands, and chainsaw mechanics.
Buzz.
Johnny?
Xenogears of War?
Correct.
Yay!
Nice.
You
I was
could've-
thinking that the first one was like Phantasmagoria for some reason.
You should have
Yeah.
made it Gears of War 2. Just randomly.
That would have
screw with
been
me.
really
Yeah,
irritating.
that's or like Gears 5. Xenogears 5.
This next one I will require a full answer for. Clue number 1. Ang Lee directed this film, which won the Oscar for Best Foreign Language Feature. Clue 2. This game featured the voice talents of Tim Curry, Kate Mulgrew, and Steve Valentine.
Oh, fuck.
Read them again.
I'll read them one more time. Clue 1. Ang Lee directed this film, which won the Oscar for Best Foreign Language Feature Film. Clue 2. This game featured the voice talents of Tim Curry, Kate Mulgrew, and Steve Valentine.
Buzz.
Johnny.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon Age Origins.
Correct.
Wow, nice. I always forget Ang Lee directed that movie.
I couldn't figure out what the game was. I knew it was Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
I didn't
Before
know
she
Tim-
read
I
the
forgot
second one,
Tim
I
Curry
assumed. Yeah, me
was in
too.
Dragon Age Origins.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was,
Was
in
Tim
that.
Curry in Origins?
Yeah.
Who did he play?
As, Howl,
Oh, the guy like that you have to kill.
the guy you have to kill.
Well, there's a lot of guys, but he's like the one who took over
Yeah.
the government. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think that's true. Hopefully I didn't just make that up and that's what tricked you all. Let's just do a little
John,
quick
I like your cup. I need cups of exactly that size.
They're pretty big. Like
I like it.
Yes, he did play.
Why are you guys talking about your genital size on the show?
my breast size. He likes my cup size.
Yeah.
Last question.
All right, Matt's going to get this one. Buzz.
Yes, Matt.
I'm just warming my buzzer up. Buzz.
Oh, okay. Yes, Matt.
It's a buzzle.
Are you sure Tim Curry was in Dragon Age?
Yes. Clue 1. This 1981 animated film had 10 different directors. Clue 2.
What?
This game helped popularize the stealth genre and in-game cinematic cutscenes when it was released for the PlayStation in 1998.
Buzz.
Johnny.
Heavy Metal Gear Solid.
Correct.
Damn.
Yeah.
That first one really tripped me up. I didn't know what it was.
And that's Vanessa's stupid game. Round
Yay.
one.
Wow, what are the scores?
The scores so far are in first place we have Johnny with 5 points.
Five.
In second place we have Jim with 2 points.
It's more like it.
And in third place we have Matt with
Chungus.
1 point.
Wait, I thought we played 9
That's
rounds.
8.
How is there
You're
5,
right,
2,
you're
and
right.
1?
I'm sorry, I forgot. I just went to the end of the page and stopped.
Oh.
Oh, there's one more?
Yeah, there's one more.
All right.
Yay!
Chance for redemption.
Okay.
Oh, this is a toughie. Get ready. Paul Vischer and Mike Naraki created this computer-generated animated series to convey Christian moral themes and biblical values.
Ah!
And your second clue, the PS3 version of this game featured an exclusive character named Patty Fleur.
Buzz.
Veggie
Matt.
Buzz. Damn
I
it!
said Buzz.
Matt.
Veggie Tales of Vesperia.
Correct.
Yay!
Fuck! I was just gonna blurt out the answer like an asshole.
Ooh, now they're
All right,
tied.
that ties up Matt and Jim.
Yay, 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 yay. Thanks,
Come back next
Dad,
week for
for
more
buying my
of
kids a bunch of
Vanessa's
Veggie Tales DVDs.
Stupid
Did you
game.
watch him?
I mean, the kids did.
I know, like
finally
some
paid off.
Christians don't like that because they feel like it's too progressive or something.
Yep. It's
Oh my
not
God.
Christian enough.
Oh, it's just a cute moral tale. They're just cute moral tales.
Yeah, I've heard it's not like it's fine if your kids are atheists to watch it, and they won't get any weird ideas.
Like about equality or tolerance.
Yay, that was
you
really
guys ready
fun.
to-
Thanks for playing
Yeah, that
Vanessa's
was fun.
stupid game.
Hey, wait a minute. Is this going to continue
Yeah.
throughout this entire series, or
I
is this a
assume
one-off?
so. No, I assume
I
this
assume
is.
it will continue until I run out of ideas for
I thought this was until the end
That
of
will never happen.
Baldur's.
Hey, wait. Can we talk about this?
Gate.
Can we talk about this now? Because we didn't do it in my game. What does the winner get? I want to play for
Why is there
something.
got to be a winner that gets something?
Because it gives some stakes to the game, my friend.
We're playing this for the
competitive.
amusement of our listeners.
No, I want
Our listeners'
to be rewarded.
joy is reward enough for me.
Well,
I'll
that's
send
why
the winner
you're
a
in
prize.
last place.
I'm not in last place. We're tied.
We're tied for last.
You're tied for
Right.
second.
Well,
Buzz.
there's
Yeah, that's
nothing
a good way to
below
look at it.
that.
Yay. All right, so before we
Yay.
dive into the quest log, we should all talk about our great history with this great game.
I have a proposal. Let's also talk about our history with Dungeons and Dragons.
Never heard of it. Jim, you go first.
Okay. This is gonna be easy. I have little to no familiarity with both things.
I'm poking Jim.
Oh, I'm talking.
Yeah.
Can you not hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm just having
I don't
fun.
think your gallery is the same as everybody's gallery.
Oh,
Yeah.
Also,
okay.
not everybody uses gallery.
Oh, okay.
In my gallery, I'm poking Jim. And now I'm
Okay.
also poking Matt.
Whenever you talk, your screen is the main one, so it looks like you're pointing at your crotch.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I have as well.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, my really only experience with D&D is remember like 5 or 6 years ago when we played that D&D offshoot for the show.
That
as a
wasn't
bonus?
D&D, it was Fate.
It was Fate, yeah, but it was
It's a tabletop
an
RPG.
Yeah, but
that when
that's
I
probably
pretended to
is-
be Lulu.
Yes.
I
I think so. Yeah.
I don't remember.
We played,
That was
played
the
Final
episode,
Fantasy characters.
That was the episode I drank so much beer I fell asleep on the air.
We've all been there.
Yeah,
I don't think I've fallen.
but-
I don't fall asleep very easily. So
And I don't drink
Yeah.
very much beer.
Yeah. Yep, it happened. But that's as close as I've come to D&D, and I've never played a Baldur's Gate game before, even though, like, I think the most I've been interested is recently in Baldur's Gate 3, just because it looks like it's got some Lovecraftian stuff in it. And I'm a real slut for that.
Racism?
But otherwise... But otherwise, I don't have a lot of experience with D&D stuff.
Wow. What a nerd. What a dork. What a loser.
Matt, what's your experience?
I have, I think I've started this or the second one before. I've tried to tool around with some of these games. There's also the Neverwinter games and the Icewind Dale games and the Planescape game. But, and I've certainly played other Dungeons & Dragons flavored video games, but I've never played enough of Baldur's Gate 1 to really... I'm sure I've started it because I recognized the opening and like Candlekeep, but I think that's about as far as I ever got because the gameplay is... Well, let's just say it's not great. It's not something that normally would hook me. It has here, so that's nice. But in the past, just not really for me. And as listeners know, I played my first full Dungeons & Dragons campaign just last year when I played Curse of Strahd with friend of the show Stan as the DM. And I recently started a Tomb of Annihilation game. So it's funny, D&D is something that I came to late in life. I certainly was interested in it when I was a kid, but I never had any of the books or anything. So I read some of the novels and stuff. I remember reading the Drizzt Do'Urden novels at some point. Who does make an appearance in this game for some stupid fucking reason. Anyway, that's about it. I'm excited to get into this one. What about you, Vanessa?
I hadn't really ever heard of this game until y'all started talking about it.
What?
I think it first came up when BioWarey was conceived, and we talked about different BioWare games that we could play. But this, of course, is extended BioWarey, which delights me to no end because I love BioWare.
Mm-hmm.
But I have played Dungeons & Dragons in the flesh world with people. I played it when I was in high school. With some lads. I think I was the only lady person in that group.
Just the way you like it.
Yeah,
Just the way I like it.
Just like here.
I mean, obviously, yeah.
Obviously. And then I also played it a few years back now, like maybe 5 years back. Had a little game going, but didn't really have the time to sustain that. I don't mind it, but neither do I adore it, I would say. I respect it, like, to all get out. It's the, father of all RPGs, that Dungeons & Dragons. But I don't typically gravitate towards fantasy settings when other settings are available. Johnny!
Hello.
What's your experience with Baldur's Gate?
Hello.
And or Dungeons & Dragons?
Well, let's start with Dungeons and Dragons, because my first experience with it, mostly due to my brother, was that he got the game Pool of Radiance on IBM PC. And I was pretty little. I was like 8 or 9 when he got that. And so I struggled to figure out how to play it. That game is pretty hard. But it's using the same rule set as Baldur's Gate, so it's Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd Edition. So it's all THAC0 and AC -3 and things like that. I remember I was like, well, I can modify my character, so I'll just turn everyone's stats to 18. But I mean, I was a little kid, so it's fine. There's no difficulty setting. So
Even as an adult, it's fine.
yeah, and then I really liked it because it was a big adventure and a big world, and you got to go on quests and stuff. And so I sort of got into that. My brother would buy Dragon magazines, which reviewed games and also had lots of little extras for D&D quests, and I got into
little
that.
modules.
And then
The magazine was called Dragon?
yeah, it was the official
Cool.
Dungeons and Dragons magazine.
Oh, that's cool.
And then so I played Dark Sun a lot because my friends were really into that. I played Dungeons and Dragons quite a bit with a couple of ladies actually in high school. Heather and Angie would play sometimes, but mostly with Travis.
Shout out to Heather and Angie. What's up?
Travis, Jordan, and then my first Travis, Adam, Jordan, Eric, all those people. And then we played more my first boyfriend was like super into Dungeons and Dragons, and this was right when Baldur's Gate was coming out. So I got that. I think I got Baldur's Gate for Christmas, and I did not get very far. It was real hard. I got very anxious about it, and like this was back when I would not look at any guides on how to play a game, which turns out is a mistake. And actually, you should look at guides if you're uncomfortable or don't know how to play a game instead of getting really frustrated and then stop playing them, because I think it's better to actually play the game and figure out how it works, maybe with a little bit of help, than not figure it out and then just get really upset and mad and think you're stupid. So I was anxious about this game, but playing it now, it's like, oh, no, I know how to do this. I've been playing these Dragon Ages and stuff for years now, and it's not... I mean, it's... My big criticism of Dungeons & Dragons, there's two. One, and I was talking about this with Matthew offline, is that the game starts out really hard and then gets easier because your characters are super weak. They don't have any abilities. And the more levels you get, generally the easier the game gets. I mean, the DM can balance it by throwing harder and harder enemies at you, but I feel like that first level is still way too hard and takes way too long to get out of. It takes so, like in this game, it takes like 5 hours to get out of your first level.
And then then they just start piling up.
Yeah.
5 hours?
Something like took me, but I was playing on normal. I don't know.
Okay.
And
He was probably also screwing around.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I do like messing around in these kind of games.
Running off into the cornfields and ignoring the main plot. And, a level 75 dragon just killed me. This game is shit. I hate it.
Mm-hmm. And then my second criticism is everyone missing for 5 rounds. Like, miss.
Oh,
I hate that.
Which is just like real Dungeons and Dragons. Like, it's so boring when everyone keeps missing. Like, there should be a rule that if everyone misses 4 turns in a row, like someone gets plus 10, because otherwise it's
You
just
should get
annoying.
advantage on a sec. If you miss, you should get advantage on your next attack. That would be, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Just to give you a better chance.
Yeah. Exactly.
Advantage is when you get to roll twice and pick the higher number.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, so this is real crunchy old Dungeons and Dragons. I think that's pretty fun. I played plenty of Dungeons and Dragons games. Coming back to this one, I mean, back when it came out, I was like, wow, the graphics are amazing. The environments are really cool. When did this come out? 98? 97?
I don't know.
Something like that. But I thought this
Nobody
game...
knows. We don't do any research before we start these things.
Oh,
It's
let
true.
me look.
I'm looking it up.
Oh, okay. Matthew is looking it up.
98.
98. Oh, that makes sense because I started dating Luis in 97, so 98 would make sense as to playing this. So yeah, that's my Dungeons and Dragons experience. What's the next thing we're going on to, Vanessa?
Next
We're
thing
gonna
we're
talk
going on
about-
to Vanessa.
We're going to talk about character creation. This game starts with character creation. We all created our own little protagonist, and so we're going to describe them. I will go first because mine was boring. I let the Discord kind of tell me what to do on this one. Thanks, gang. I have a male human fighter.
Wow. Real
specialize-
basic.
It's not
So
what I usually play. I usually
Unflavored
play
for me,
rogues and
please.
stuff. But I I like mayonnaise. I specialized in two-handed weapons, so I have a big old sword that I do a lot of chopping with, which hits hard. Hits very hard. Misses a lot. And boy, that's fucking it for my character. He is boring. I named him Vander, my go-to fantasy game name. What about you, Vanessa?
I generally play like a cleric type when I play D&D because I just want to help my friends have a good time and not get died. And
Yeah, clerics are great they're like so versatile.
They're versatile and they're great, and it's fun to like pick a god and then role play as a priest of that god and get all like anal and weird about your one weird little thing that you're into. But this time I wanted to shake things up. So I made a sorcerer with the subclass Dragon Disciple. That's a sorcerer with dragon blood somewhere in their lineage. A sorcerer is kind of just like
so
a
their
mage.
mom got fucked by a dragon, or dad
Yeah.
fucked a dragon, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a bad dragon kind of situation.
Okay.
Oh.
And they are like a mage, except they don't have to memorize their spells at the start of the day. However, they cannot cast as many spells. And eventually I'll get Dragon Breath, apparently, but it hasn't happened yet.
Do you, as a sorcerer, have to prepare spells?
No.
Wow. That
No
sounds nice.
preparation required.
So you have
I
access to your full spell book, it's just smaller?
Yeah.
That sounds great.
I made a half-elf because I wanted night vision, and that was my only leading decision of that. And I made them neutral good. I know everyone was saying Vanessa's going to play lawful good, Vanessa's going to try to be a perfect princess, but, recent times have taught me a lot of things, and sometimes you just got to overthrow a corrupt government. January 6th. Never forget.
Whoa, no.
Stop the steal.
Stop the steal. No, it's
Vanessa's
because
trying to get canceled again.
I didn't want to be quite so locked in from a role play perspective, although it doesn't seem that this game stops you from doing anything based on your alignment.
Your friends might object, I guess, based on their alignment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Maybe it affects your reputation. Like, if you do bad stuff, maybe, but you're a bad guy, maybe you get good reputation points?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I don't know.
in Dungeons and Dragons,
We should probably know
in,
that.
in the
Yeah.
regular
Should
game,
we?
the more bad
I
stuff you
mean-
do, your alignment can change. So maybe it'll be like if you keep murdering people, eventually you'll turn to evil version, neutral
Yeah,
evil.
it's possible. I think it's good that we don't know anything because what we bring, which is really unusual, is not an expert view, not an informed view, but the view of people who pick up the game and play it.
Widow
is-
baby flesh eyes view.
No, we've
said-
retired.
Wait. So the alignment is mostly cosmetic, but it does have some in-game effects. I think
Thanks,
certain
watch out for
classes,
fireballs. Jesus.
No, you can't be a monk if you're not lawful, I think.
Oh, interesting.
And you can't, you can't be, berserkers cannot be lawful. Kensai cannot be chaotic.
Oh, yeah, I bet there's a paladin class that's like an evil paladin. I'm sure you can't get
yeah.
that if you're good.
Yeah, so, and I think that's pretty much it.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
do you want the game to lock you out of options because of a choice you made in the first 2 minutes of the game?
No.
I don't. I actually
it
was kind of
also-
annoyed
it also
at the way the
determines-
character creation worked in this game, where it felt kind of backwards, where it was like, first pick your portrait. And,
Oh, yeah, that was weird.
and then it was like, but I don't know
Yeah,
what
that
I want
was
to make
weird.
yet.
Yeah.
So one other thing is that your alignment affects which creature will appear if the protagonist casts Find Familiar.
Oh,
Cast
interesting.
Find Familiar. Yeah.
Well,
But I think you can only cast that if you're I have a scroll for that, but I can't use it, and non-player characters can't use it, so I just sold it.
I named my character because it was St. Patrick's Day when I started this game, Bridget of Kildare, which is a saint of Ireland, and now everyone calls my character Bridget of Kildare all the time.
I like using them full names in this game.
Are
That's
you
the Shakespeare
Bridget
talk.
of Kildare? I love it. Jim, tell us about your character.
I made a lady dwarf fighter / cleric.
Ooh.
Little
Yeah.
lady fresh eyes.
I don't.
And
How can you do both? You can multi-class. Oh, you multi-class.
Yeah, you can dual class.
yeah, dual class. And so far, so good. Although it was a bummer because I picked up some really good loot. It was like a Moonblade +3, and I couldn't even equip it. It's kind of a bummer.
That's
That's Zan's weapon.
Yeah,
Only
that's
Zan can
Zan's
use that.
sword.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then also, I gave a +1 to myself in longswords, and I gave a +2 in katanas. I know katanas are hard to find in the early game, but if I find one later in the game, I'm going to be so awesome at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I chose the portrait of the female, like doing the rawr kind of portrait where she's got like her fingers curled with her claws out. Yeah, and I chose the jester personality.
Oh, fun.
I didn't talk
Yeah,
about sorry, Jim.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Weapons or personality. I chose a quarterstaff because I wanted to hit people with a stick. And then for the personality, I didn't know what to pick, but I was playing on my mobile Switch, and Vanessa's mom was there, and I let her listen to each of the female voices, and she chose which one she thought was most like me. She picked commanding.
You can definitely change that in the menu at any time as well.
Oh, I could see because those lines get repetitive. But
Also,
I chose
you definitely can and will find katanas pretty quickly.
Oh, I haven't yet.
Yeah.
Well, I think I saw. Well, there's katanas, and then there's the other kind of sword. Yeah,
But yeah,
Wazushi or
I've found
whatever.
some katanas already. They're around.
Okay, interesting.
Enemies drop
but-
fucking everything, which is nice.
Yeah, that's true. And then for personality, I chose Jester, and I like it because when you tell her to do stuff, she'll be like, "I'm on it," like ugly on a Nork. And I bet I've heard that line 900,000 times, and I'm not tired of it yet.
How many times have you heard "eat flaming death" or "frozen
Oh boy.
death"?
Oh
Go for
boy.
the eyes,
Or possibly
eyes!
frozen
Yep.
death.
Go for the eyes, boo!
or forward march.
Rusk. I'm on
What about
it.
you, Johnny?
Yeah, my character is pretty great. Yeah, John, what's your character like?
Well, he is a half orc. I named him Gronk. Well, I named him Grunk, and then I remembered.
Wait, hold on. I never said my character's name.
Oh yeah, what's your character's name?
It's Butt.
So I named him Grunk too, but then I forgot that I actually named him Gronk in Skyrim. So this is sort of a sequel to my Skyrim character, but his name is Grunk. He's a half orc. He's a fighter. James Plett has suggested I use an archer because they're very overpowered in this game, and so I've been putting lots of points into my bow. And that's been fun. I didn't realize you need a 18 strength to use a composite bow, so only Minsk can use that, unfortunately. But that's been great. I've been shooting people full of arrows. He still can use a sword as well if someone comes up real close. And you run out of arrows real fast until you get to the mines where you suddenly get 8,000 arrows, and it's much better.
But cheap though.
Yeah,
Arrows and
yeah.
I gave my wizards and some people slings as well.
Yeah.
Which is helpful.
You
and
don't
those things
want
there
your
dirt
wizards to run up and start trying to punch people. Darts are good too for wizards.
cheap. Yeah, I read about that today, that darts are actually a really strong weapon in this game.
Yeah.
It's always funny to me when I'll have 4 people surrounding a monster just swinging away, miss, and then Nira
one
back there
long-range
will
character
throw Nira will throw
everyone.
a sling and fucking level them. It's hilarious.
I've got
I know.
3.
That's kind of frustrating because, like, I want to be the one killing everything, not my long distance person.
But I have a long distance person, so it's great. And he's now he's mastered the bow. He's also chaotic good, which that's usually what I play when I play Dungeons and Dragons. Law sucks. You don't want to follow the law. You want to do what's right.
That's how I live my life. Chaotic good lifestyle.
Exactly.
I did neutral
Hashtag
good like Vanessa.
chaotic good lifestyle. So yeah, that's Gronk. 2. Grunk 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
No, that
Or
joke doesn't work
Electric
anymore
Boogaloo.
because of
Why?
the Civil War peoples that want to... You know the Boogaloo Boys? That whole thing of they want to start a second
They can't
race
take
war.
fucking Electric Boogaloo
They
away
did,
from us.
Matthew. They did.
No,
It's done.
they can't.
It is done.
No, John, they didn't take it. You let them have it.
Yeah, you're letting them have it.
They pervert everything that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Matt does
Just
make
like they're
a
trying
good
to take
point.
America.
Yeah.
Never gonna say that again. But
It felt good.
we none of us picked an evil character.
Oh well. I mean,
That's okay. The only
should play
problem
the
is
game the way
all
we
my
want.
good. Yeah, honestly, after how shitty playing as a renegade in Mass Effect was, I couldn't do it again. I wasn't going to do it. And so one of you
I mean,
was gonna have
right?
to do it.
That's after Mass Effect 2. I've got very little interest in playing evil. I mean, I will say that when I played evil in the KOTOR game, it was one of the best decisions I ever made.
Yeah, I
Remember
think
when
that's the
I
only
tricked
one.
those two
Well-
families into totally murdering each other so I could just run through
Well,
their houses and
and
steal
the,
all their
um,
shit?
Yeah.
I
KOTOR
think-
is one of those games that makes it worth it to do that. 'cause
Yeah.
you get lots of-
And
doesn't punish
SWTOR
you.
is really good for that too, because you can be like, you can be imperial, but then kind of good, but then everyone hates you at your work, and
Yeah.
it's
Did you
really
just say
interesting.
SLOTOR?
SWTOR, Star Wars: The Old Republic, the MMO.
Okay, stop
I
talking
still
about the
kinda wanna
MMO.
play
We're never
that.
playing the MMO.
I might do it.
If
You're not
Vanessa plays it, I'm playing with her.
Jim is drinking a
Is
fucking
it still
40.
online?
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
it's still going.
Show me that, Jim. Show it to me.
It's a 24 ouncer.
It's a 40.
He also brought it into his room in like a plastic grocery bag that appeared to have a whole bunch of other drinks in it as well.
No, it has one other drink in it.
I appreciate the fact that Jim drinks with me when we record this show, because otherwise then I'm drinking alone, which I don't
Yeah, but
mind.
Johnny and I have decided that one of these days we're going to have a Johnny and Vanessa drinks and Jim and Matt stay sober episode.
Yeah, I was thinking.
It's not gonna happen.
I think
Yeah,
Megan.
but
would,
Johnny and Vanessa drinks.
I
Jim
would-
and
I
Matthew
would-
drinks.
I would enjoy that.
I
actually.
think.
would
I
enjoy
think
that a
Jim
lot.
and Matthew not drinking during
Oh,
Megan, and then Vanessa and Johnny being totally drunk would be hilarious.
Yeah, I don't think I drank during Ghost Ship.
I think
don't
I drank
remember.
during Ghost Ship and I don't drink very much.
I
Things just require
excuse
it.
Buzz.
Yes.
I refuse.
You
I'll be
can
the only
refuse
sober
if
one.
if the patrons vote for it. Patrons,
I
write
can.
in.
I will.
Tell us
the
if you
patrons
want Matt
did
to
not
be
control my
sober.
life.
Yeah, if the
patrons
listeners
don't
want
want
to hear
Matt
an
to be sober.
episode where
Patrons love
They don't?
drunk Matt. Then I sleep on hot dogs.
That's true.
Ooh, there's an update to Elden Ring that has ray tracing on PS5, Xbox Series
saw that.
X, and PC.
We didn't do hot gaming news this week.
Tracing is.
They're saying that they're going to make a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game based on the graphic novel The Last Ronin, and it's going to be God of War inspired gameplay.
that sounds pretty awesome, actually.
I'm into that. I haven't read The Last
gonna be
Ronin, but I've heard it's
bloody?
very good.
Are they gonna at least
Yeah,
make
it's
it?
gonna be like it's gonna be dark.
Look, I said to you the headline that I read. I don't have any other information. Don't ask me questions.
I read the whole article, and it actually sounds pretty awesome.
Is it
I've
gonna
been
be like
wanting to read
those
that Last
those
Ronin.
original graphic novels that were like bloody and black and white?
Yeah,
I mean, the current there's a TMNT comic that's been running via IDW for a few years that is pretty. I mean, it's not super graphic or anything, but it's certainly more adult than the.
It's not the
Show
Super
was.
Graphics, the sequel to the Turbo Graphics.
Okay, well, I think it's time for us to finally get into the fucking quest log. We're an hour and 17 minutes into this.
we're doing better than usual.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
we've
we had
already
a lot to
been
talk
talking
about.
about the game for the last 20 minutes. It's been pretty good.
Character creator.
So the game begins with a prologue. Vanessa did, in her last time on, talk about some of this, but I'll quickly run through it. Your main character, your protagonist, your adopted father, Gorion.
Voiced by Jim Cummings, voice of Pete.
I really like that name. It's very dumb.
Jim likes
Oh,
Jim
is it
Cummings.
the voice of Pete?
I love Jim Cummings.
It is the voice of Pete, and when he voices all the hobgoblins who sound exactly like Pete. They're like, "Oh,
Yes,
we're
I
going
thought
to be
so. I didn't
fighting
realize
you
it was
then."
actually the same guy because I was going to send you a clip being like, this guy sounds like Pete.
And I like as soon as I heard like there was a creature that made a noise, and I was like, "Oh, that's fucking Frank Welker." Frank Welker's all over this game too.
Ooh.
Your adopted father, Gorion, informs you off screen that you have to leave your home immediately, or almost immediately. Your home, which is called Candlekeep. It appears to be some sort of like library village or something.
I feel like someone
a
told us
library
about that.
monastery mashup.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he doesn't really tell you why, but he does give you some money, and he tells you to go buy some gear, and you are kind of set loose in the town of Candlekeep, or the I guess it's a keep.
Yeah.
The keep of
The
Candlekeep.
keep of Candle.
Before that, there is an introductory cutscene which has been totally changed from the original. The original was this like really cheesy, fully animated CG thing of someone getting killed by a shadowy demon, and it's pretty funny. He gets like thrown off a tower and bleeds, and the guy's like, "It's time" or something.
That happens here.
Yeah, but it's like graphic novel, like motion comic, instead of
Oh, got it.
of
Okay.
like bad CG. I recommend going back and watching that bad CG version. It's pretty fun.
Well, why don't you post it on the Facebook group when we post this episode?
I will.
There are several side quests that you can do in the town before you go buy your gear and leave to get some extra money and experience. The first side quest I did is that I found a sick cow named Nessa.
Oh, it's me.
And I went and found some medicine for Nessa and made her feel all better.
Yeah.
I will say one of my favorite things about this chunker is just randomly walking into a house and a person already wanting to murder me.
Yeah, there are a couple of
Like,
assassins in town.
There's like a handful of them, and they show up like randomly, and it's like my favorite thing.
They always carry a letter that has your name and your location and offers 200 gold for your death, which seems like a lot.
Every
Not
encounter
really.
is
I've
different
got like
too.
1,500
there's-
gold on me.
Like there's,
Yeah, but we're
there are-
adventurers. We're rich. That's what adventurers do. Most people have like 10 gold to their name.
Yeah, but it's funny because those assassins, every encounter is different. Some of them will recognize you immediately. Some will be like, what's your name? Or like, where are you coming from? Or you look like somebody I know. And so like, they're all kind of different. They're all really fun.
Yeah, the one at the end of I guess it's right after the end of the chunker where this guy's like, "I'm Normicon" or something. And that guy's pretty fun.
So there are several side quests you can do. I don't think there's anything super interesting to dive into. It's a lot of fetch quests. Go get me my sword. Find me my book.
Kill the rats.
You do learn about the Iron Crisis, which is that the mines of Nashkel are barely operating due to monster attacks, and what little ore they can produce is all brittle and fucked up and breaks like immediately, which very quickly becomes a huge problem in this game. It's real Breath of the Wild-esque. My fucking swords break constantly to the point that my main character is now carrying like 6 two-handed swords around just because I got tired of fucking
I didn't get
having
like
my sword break.
I didn't notice that until like right after the final boss fight that Khalid had no weapon. He'd been punching people. I didn't realize they broke.
And maybe it shows up. I guess we should say that this game does something that I hate, which is that it does have a text box at the bottom that is constantly like telling you what's happening in this game. You can't minimize it. You can't make it go away.
Can
and
you
the
make
text
it
scrolls
bigger?
so fast that you can't fucking...
Because it's like just 2 little lines, and it's hard to... I want that to be bigger so I can at least see what happened.
I did make
I
the text as
hate
big as possible, and I am not a person who wears glasses or contacts or anything like that, so...
Well, you're playing on
Anyway,
the little bitty Switch, too.
Yeah, I'm also playing on the Switch, so the screen is a little bit tiny. But it's also close to me.
We go and stock up on gear. I assume everybody kind of bought the same stuff, like some leather armor and some sort of sword.
Nah, my
Yeah,
sorcerer
I got
can't
a
use
bow.
anything.
I got a bow. There must be some good robes or something, but not yet.
Not yet.
In the old Dungeons and Dragons games, you could always buy bracers, but haven't seen any of those for your mages.
Yeah,
yet.
there's bracers.
Oh, okay, because that's good mage. gear.
I also like, for some reason, it's weird how slowly it introduces the other equipment slots. Like, you can get a helmet and some armor, but bracers and like shin guards and stuff, you can get those, but
Gauntlets.
you can't find them fucking anywhere. Gauntlets, yeah, it's ridiculous.
I just found some boots, some fancy boots in the mines, and that guy who kills you right after you do the mines, who tries to the assassin. He's got some fancy and you can tell that they're magic because they're blue. Is that it? It seems
Yeah.
like that's good because you don't have to have detect magic running all the time.
This game does do the classic D&D thing of any magic item you find, you have to use Identify on first. You have spell slots instead of mana, and
Vanessa-
you expend them daily, which is a huge frustration.
We'll
for
talk
me.
about
You're
Vanessa's
constantly-
girdle problem in a moment.
I had a big girdle problem.
I wish it would have explained the identify thing because I'm pretty sure I threw away some
It did if you played the
some
tutorial.
good gear that I just didn't understand what it was.
I didn't play the tutorial, and I didn't talk to all those tutors walking around Candlekeep.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
and Candlekeep, it's littered with green robed tutors.
I
I
wish
did
I'd
not
talked to
talk to
all
the-
of them.
I played the tutorial, so I didn't feel like I needed to talk to the tutors. The whole memorizing spell things in particular to me is just fucking egregious. And if you have a mage, you can have a spell book filled with spells, but you have to memorize certain or prepare certain spells, and those are the only ones you can use.
But don't
So-
forget, if you find a scroll, you can right click on it, or I don't know what it is on Switch or PS4, and then you can learn that spell and write it into your spell book.
Yeah, you
so,
write it into your spell book.
Yeah.
And then if you want to use it, you have to memorize it, which means that you have to rest for a day.
Actually, I don't mind them. I just wish there's a few more spell slots. They're pretty
Yeah.
skimpy. But I like
it
the
goes
system.
back to what we talked about earlier, where the first levels are the hardest because
Yeah.
you can have a mage and you have
and mages
two
have
spell
4
slots.
hit points. Like,
How are you supposed to survive?
the mages
How are you supposed
die.
to kill things when you
So
have two
how
spells?
is your well? Who's playing on story mode? Vanessa is, right?
I am.
Do you still get killed a lot? Like, how's that work?
No, you can't die.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So what
I
happened?
never get killed
and-
and I
and-
never have any problems.
Yeah, in story mode, it's pretty easy. In easy mode, you can die, but your party members cannot. I think is how it works.
Oh yeah, they can.
Or your
for sure.
party members can die, but you cannot. One of those.
I
Yeah,
didn't
you can, for
realize
sure.
you can raise dead, which I should have. I mean, I remember back in the gold box games, like the early AD&D games, you could.
You
So
have to
I-
go
like-
to a temple to do that until you get a cleric with a high enough level that they have that spell.
right because
And
I
it's
finally
expensive
let.
as fuck.
It was only 200 for me, but I donated a lot of money to the temple, so I guess
It's
lowers the
more
price.
per level. It's one of those games. It's one of those deals. I think Dragon Quest does that too, actually.
Okay, yeah, and Shining Force and stuff too. So I did so basically I've been save scumming to. There's a few things I didn't realize you could rest, which does help a lot because then you gain a little bit of hit points back and you can rememorize your healing spells and cast those.
But if you rest out in the
There's
open,
a-
you've got like a 75% chance of being randomly attacked.
I think it depends where you
Yeah.
rest.
It does.
Well,
It-
sure. If you're
it
in an
does,
inn,
yeah.
you're fine. But
No,
if you try
but-
to rest outside in a town,
But
the guards
like
will wake
if
you
you're
up and kick you out.
right by the knoll stronghold, you're gonna get more knolls. But if you're like in the middle of like a calm, some locations are easier to rest in than others, I believe.
Sure.
There's like a gameplay modifier you can flip on in the accessibility menu. I think that every time you rest until you're fully healed, so you
Oh.
don't get like old chunks.
Does it
Okay.
eat up
So
more
every
time, though?
Yeah,
I believe it
assume
does.
so.
Yeah.
Time
But-
seems to be a thing, but we'll talk about that.
but it
when
also
becomes a thing.
it seems like they'll auto heal too. Like so, if you go to rest at the end, your healers will use their healing spells that they have left before you go to bed. There's a couple of good things like that, so it doesn't take.
I haven't
as-
noticed that.
Yeah, it'll say in that little text scroll that goes by so fast, healing spells used or something.
Anyway, after we do some stuff around town and buy our gear, you can find Gorion hanging outside the library monastery thing. And he, again, says we have to leave right now! Even though night is coming, but he's like, "Now we gotta go."
Your voice like distorted there, and it sounded like a cool transformer talking.
I
Probably
heard it
didn't
too.
do that on my track, though, so why talk about it?
Well, I could add it to your track if you'd like.
Great. He wants to leave, and he makes sure to tell you that if anything happens to him, he's got a couple of friends at the Friendly Arm Inn that you should go find.
And
that's the end of the
immediately
prologue.
happens to him.
Yep, chapter 1. As soon as you fucking leave, right outside Candlekeep, the next area is called Lion's Way, and surprise, surprise, we get ambushed immediately by an armored figure who demands that Gorion hand over his ward. And Gorion's like, run! And he
And
fights,
then he
does
uses
kill a
like
couple of them.
crazy magic. He seems to be
Yeah.
like
Well, he's a wizard.
wrecking everybody.
He casts some sort of like multiply spell where there's like 5 of him.
Yeah,
But
multiple
then
man
the armored
spell.
figure does just stomp over and kill the shit out of him.
Y'all think
the
multiple
shit out of
man, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Sweet and cute.
I love Jamie Madrox. So Gorion immediately dies, and then we wake up. It's the next morning, and we realize that it wasn't just a nightmare. Gorion is dead, and so we go loot Gorion's body. Did everybody go
Yep.
loot the body?
Of
Yeah.
course.
Oh, for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
it tells you to because you get a letter that says to go to the Friendly Inn yet again. And it's like from his friends Khalid and Jay or
Pretty much right after you wake up, our friend that we met at Candlekeep, but I forgot to mention, Emoween, shows up. What's her favorite line?
It's
What's her
me,
famous line?
Emoween.
Yeah, hello, or something like that.
I'm
Mrs.
So Cold is
Doubtfire.
pretty famous.
Emoween shows up. She's our friend from Candlekeep, and she is a thief. So it turns out that a big part of this game is having like a good makeup of your party. You definitely need a thief if you're not a thief because you're going to need to pick some locks.
Open some chests, detect some traps.
Detect those traps. That's a big part of it. So Emoween joins the party. She doesn't have to join. You can tell her to fuck off. Did anybody tell her to fuck off?
Nope.
No, I thought
she's,
about it.
She's annoying, but after she hits level 2, she gets really useful and she levels up really fast, which is nice.
Yeah. Also, she's good with that bow. I'm telling you. I like that.
I
really
didn't give her a
struggle
bow
with this
until
game.
way too late.
I struggle with this game in that like everyone I meet wants to join my party, and I feel really bad saying no to them.
What I would do
Yeah.
is say yes and then say, oh, but I got to then put Imoen back in. Kick Imoen out because she just stays there. Then say, oh, Imoen, come back to the party, then kick out that person because usually they'll like go to the inn and you can use them later. That's what I just
That's
did
true.
with Zan.
Yeah, I fucked that up, but we'll talk about that when we get there.
Yeah, it's all right.
I have the same problem. It's tough to decide on the party, particularly once it gets filled up and new people show up and you kind of want to try different things out. I'm still using Emoween, but I've mostly changed the makeup of the rest of my party at this point, which is pretty fun.
A lot more blush and like a really
Yeah.
like attention grabbing eyeshadow.
Well, and also fake eyelashes, of course. I mean, is
Yeah.
that makeup? I think it's makeup.
Yeah, I mean, it's cosmetics.
And I like to do those cat's eyes, you know?
Ooh, yeah, like with the little line out to the side.
Anyway, so we join up with Emoween. We loot Gorion's body. And we
Emoween.
decide to head to the... Emoween. We decide to head to the Friendly Arm Inn. And you quickly run into even more
I
potential companions, Czar and Montaron. who are a couple of evil
I did
boys.
run into those guys, and I was like, these seem like cool people. And they're like, yes, let's go to the mines, yes. And I was like, yeah,
So-
let's be friends. You guys seem so cool and normal and nice. You're what do you do?
Oh, I'm a necromancer. Don't mind me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good idea when somebody joins the party to go into your records menu and read their backstory and check their alignment and stuff.
Well, he does
I let-
get mad when you do good quests. He's like, "Oh, you're just a bunch of goody two-shoes."
Yeah. It turns something to point out at this point, because Czar and Montaron are the first example, is that some characters, when they join you, will ask you to help them in a quest, and it turns out those are timed.
Well, okay, so I knew that going in, that it was timed. And so the first time I played the game, and I was going to do it this time, I was like, okay, well, they met these guys. Let's go down to the Nashkel Mines right away. And then Artie's like, don't do that, because he was watching me stream. Don't do that, because then you won't be able to recruit the people at the front. He's like, remember, there's something else you're supposed to do? I was like, yeah, but I thought I could do this little quest first. He's like, no, that's a major story quest, and we'll skip a whole bunch of stuff, and you won't be able to recruit major characters, so don't do the thing the game told you just to do.
Yeah, you can, for these guys and for the people that you meet, that we're about to meet at the Friendly Arm Inn, you can go down to the Nashkel Mines, just like enter the screen that the Nashkel Mines are located in, and that will kind of stop their clock.
Oh.
Interesting.
But I have had somebody, I recruited a guy named Kevin, I think, like Kevin or something. And
Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin wanted me to help him run down some bandits, but I couldn't figure out what
Kevin
the fuck
Pollak.
they were. And he gave me, I think it was like 15 days, and then he was like, I'm getting really antsy about this. And then after 30 days, he was like, fuck you, buddy.
Yeah,
Is he
Minsk.
the ranger who wants revenge?
Well, there's Minsk, who's also a ranger, isn't he?
Oh,
Or a fighter. He's the one with the hamster, though. I'm sure.
I thought he was a thief.
No, he's definitely.
But I haven't
a
recruited
fighter
him, so.
or a ranger. He's great. He's
so-
a lot of fun.
I decided I didn't need a ranger, to be honest with you. Once Kevin left, I was like, fuck you, buddy, and I went and recruited a monk.
What if he's more of a night ranger? Then you could really recruit Sister Christian. And
Does he have a horse that's like a robot and can talk to him? Named Kit.
That's
I
Night
get
Rider.
Night Ranger.
We were going
Vanessa
two
got it.
different directions.
Yeah,
there.
that's two different references in one.
You can't do that. That's too many references.
Yes, we can. It's called Smush
It's
Mouth.
called reference
Called
smush.
Anyway, so these evil boys will ask you to help them investigate the mines. And then we pass through the coastway, which is just kind of an area that you walk through, and we go to the Friendly Arm Inn. This confused me because I thought it would be like a building, and instead it's like another castle. You have
It's
to pass
like-
through some gates.
This is like some real Dungeons and Dragons Forgotten Realms lore. Like, this is the most famous building in Forgotten Realms, and like so it's like you're meeting all like the big names. It's like as if Aragorn and Bilbo was there, because like that one guy's running the bar, and all these named characters are like big in the Forgotten Realms lore and books and
It's
stuff.
like when you stumble across where the Fellowship ate breakfast.
Yeah,
in that Lord of the
exactly.
Rings game.
Exactly. So this was like a keep with an evil wizard. There's a whole story behind this, and Bromblebims and Garkonk did defeat the evil, and then decide to turn it into the safest place in Forgotten Realms where you could go. There might be some brawls, like good-natured drunken bar fighting. Hobbits might smash your plates, but otherwise, it's a pretty safe place to go. Matthew fell asleep.
You're really selling it, man.
Yeah.
Let's all go.
Yeah.
There's
As soon as you get to the Friendly Arm
stories.
Inn, you get attacked by another assassin. So these
Yep.
fuckers are everywhere.
Love it.
I like that they're pretty terrible though, and you get good gear
Yeah.
from them. So it's like, bring it on.
Particularly once you have a party and it's like one person attacking you. What do you
Yeah.
think you're gonna do, bud?
They
They're
just
all
explode.
really
There's 6 of
silly.
us.
Like I love these assassin run-ins.
Do you keep Ludicrous Gibbs on so you can see like their parts fly when you critical hit kill them?
Oh yeah, I have that gore on.
Yeah,
I love it when because like when you play in story mode, you're really overpowered. So you'll just like strike an enemy and they'll explode into chunks.
I think that if they explode though, then you can't loot them.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
you can.
Well, that's what I was told. I don't know.
You just have to find their bits and pieces.
It's
Can't you
in
click on their
Fallout.
torso or something, or no?
Well, usually when you see the little pile of gems or a
Yeah.
sword on the floor, I don't know. Listeners,
Maybe that's
exploded
true.
people.
So we head into the inn and we meet Gorian's friends, Khalid and Jahira, who I think are a couple, I guess.
Yeah, they do seem to
Unclear.
have, at least like Khalid, they both seem very upset if the other one's killed. Which, I mean, they're friends. That's pretty normal.
Yeah. Well, I think
I'd be
if one
upset
leave,
if most
if you
of you were killed.
have one out of your party, the other one will leave too.
For sure. The same is true for Zar and Montaran, though. If you kick
Yeah.
one out, the other one leaves with them.
And Minsk and his lady friend.
Oh, does Minsk have a lady friend?
Yeah, if you go rescue her, that's his big thing. She is a mage.
I haven't done Minsk. So you can recruit Khalid and Jahira here, and again, they also want to investigate the Nashkel Mines, so the game is really pushing you to go check these mines out. If you picked up Imaween, Zar, and Montaran, now you've filled out your party, so that's handy.
And if you go upstairs, there's a couple of different quests. There's someone who wants all her stuff from her house. She's like, oh, there's a little spider problem in my house. Maybe one or two little teeny tiny spiders.
Spiders
that you maybe
are
have to kill.
so fucking hard. Oh my god. They kill me so often.
Maybe it's because I'm using a bow. They just go down really fast.
Maybe
I did have to
get
wait till I was
wrecked.
level 2 before doing that house quest, though. And then there's another person who's girdle or ring, or I think it was their girdle got stolen by the girdle-loving ogre.
Oh yeah, that's
Isn't
well.
that in
That's where you get Vanessa's.
Yeah, that's where I had
the
girdle problem.
Yeah,
Let's talk about Vanessa's girdle problem.
Yeah, Vanessa's girdle problem is that Vanessa got some girdles from this girdle-loving ogre after she did kill the ogre. And one of them looked pretty cute and great, so I just popped it on my main character. And it turned out to be the girdle of gender reassignment. And my character became a man.
That girdle's actually going to be banned in Florida if
Yeah.
their latest legislation goes through.
For sure.
Yep,
It's
the
girdle
outlawed
abuse.
Girdle. It doesn't change your voice or your character portrait. It just changes the sprite. And didn't seem to have any other effect. I guess because some characters are romanceable to a certain extent, it probably changes who's attracted to you.
that's fun.
It's like a Ranma 1/2 situation.
Yeah, it's a Ranma 1/2. But with these cursed items, once you put them on, you can't take them off until you go to a temple and get uncursed.
Oh, that's right. Or if you have the spell, right? There's a spell
Remove
that can
curse,
remove
yeah.
curse. Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't have that, and still don't. Fun fact. So I went to the temple and I had it taken off, and then I made Imaween wear it because she was irritating me. And I know that gender transfiguration is not a punishment, but I did enjoy making her walk around like a man, but eventually I did take it off her and put something else on.
Did she complain or anything?
Nope.
Matt, you said that you sold this girdle for a lot of money. When I killed this girdle-living ogre, I got 2 girdles. I sold the gender reassignment girdle for 200. This other girdle that I got, I sold for 5,000 gold.
Yeah.
Oh, the one you're supposed to give back to that person?
Yeah, if you sell it, you get 5,000 gold from that.
There
thing.
is I don't remember where I picked it up, but I also found a cursed spear that basically attacked you whenever you attacked.
Oh yeah, I had that too.
It hit really hard, but it would also hit you, and I sold it for $2,000 and was like,
Wow.
holy shit,
The
why
spear
would you
of
buy this?
backbiting.
Yeah.
I guess
Anyway,
you could give it to an enemy as a trick.
There are a lot of little side quests here, but we can talk about that later if we have anything in particular. We're not going to go through each one. So you
Yeah.
head south. You head south towards Nashkel, and you pass by your first real town, Baragast.
The first real town of the game.
the first real town. Yeah, first real town.
The first real town of the game, by the way, has 1 smithy and 6 fucking inns. Why
Yeah,
does
there's a
this town
lot.
have so
There's a
many
lot
inns?
of. Well, there's a couple taverns here too, right? It's a
Yeah.
bunch of inns and taverns and a smith and an item.
I
Inns
walked into
are
one tavern,
taverns. You can
and this
sleep
guy
in all
was
of
like,
them.
"You're
Oh, really?
adventurers.
Yes.
You guys are adventurers. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want adventurers in my bar."
Yeah.
And you're like, and so you can fight him or be like, I'm sure Vanessa did the same thing. Knowing Vanessa, I was like, "Oh, why do you dislike adventure?" So he's like, "Oh, shut up! I don't want to talk about my son who was an adventurer then got killed." And then you could be like, "Well, tell me more about why your son was killed. Do you think that he was doing what he? You don't become an adventurer, and you are an adventurer, and then you were fulfilling your destiny. And it's very sad what happened to your son, but he was doing what he needed to do." And and then he's like, "Oh, you're right. I need to go be sad." And then
Yep.
he leaves you alone.
That's what I did. I had the whole conversation with him, and then someone else in the bar was like, "Wow, I've never seen him that calm, but you should probably skedaddle out of here anyway, because who knows when he's going to blow up again."
I ignored him.
I killed
and
that guy.
The bartender was
killed
like,
him?
wow, what a monster.
He was a mourning father.
Jim doesn't have time.
He's accosting me in public.
You thought it was
There are a
another
bunch of-
assassin.
There are a bunch of potential companions here in Baragost. Kagan, who I did, and Garrick, neither of whom I picked up.
Oh, I didn't
pick up Garrick either.
Oh, I didn't. Kagan, which is the one that tells you to bodyguard that lady who then wants you to kill her, like, people she obviously hired? Did you?
Yeah,
any
that
of you
was
get
great.
quest? I didn't do. Oh, I went along with it right until she wanted me to kill these people. I was like, why am I killing these people? And then she's like, well, fine, I'll just kill you instead. And I did kill her. And then Keegan wanted to join my party. But I should have said yes and then done the swap in, swap out thing, but I forgot. So, but Keegan seems like a bad guy.
No, go ahead. And there's also, I don't know exactly when she pops up. It's right here in the first chapter, though, for sure, in Baragost. You can run across Nira, who I think is an enhanced edition character.
She's a wild mage. I picked
Oh,
her.
She's
and-
a wild mage, and
Yeah,
she's
they
being
give
chased
her a
by
little-
red wizards.
Yeah, they give her like a cool little, almost like little pseudo cutscene here. It's fun.
Nira is being being accosted by some red mages, and they want to like amputate. No, I'm sorry.
They want to study her.
Yeah, they want to study her. They talk about like studying her brain.
Dissect or what's the
dissect
word?
her.
Do an autopsy.
Autopsy. So you can save her, and I did, and I let her join my party. This is when I kicked out Czar and Montaron because I didn't have a wizard yet, and I wanted one. And even though she's a wild mage, I thought it would be fun. And now she's my girlfriend.
Oh, congratulations.
It's fun, actually. She's fun.
I also took her in my party, but I did have a slight problem with her. Apparently, this is something that can happen because she is a wild mage and her magic is all over the place. She has semi-permanently transformed herself into a squirrel. So she turned herself into a squirrel. I took her to the temple and tried to, you can buy Dispel Magic. And I did it 5 times at 200 coins a pop, and it didn't work. So then I was like, you need to go to the Friendly Arms Inn and think about how you're a squirrel. And I thought it was like a glitch or something, so I looked it up, and someone else was like, yeah, she did this, and then after 2 weeks, she turned back into a person, but by then she was so under-leveled compared to my other people. I didn't have anything to do with her.
They seem to level up when you let them join your party. It seems to even
not
out.
for me. She's been well. You can level her up by doing quests, and you can do non-combat quests with the really low-level people. But I think it's probably not a good idea to try and level up 20 companions. You probably want to sort of keep a stock of companions that you're gonna level up and not.
When I first pick up a companion, they generally seem to auto level up to my level, and it'll give me a
Not
ton of points to spend on them. Only the first time.
No, I haven't seen that yet, but I could have been too. Maybe I was level 1 when I met all these people. Maybe.
Anyway, Nira's great. I love her. And
she did something, but we'll talk about it when we get to that point. She caused me a game over, and I'll talk about why.
there are some more side quests here. You definitely you're asked to go check out some ogres that are terrorizing the countryside. is one of the quests. There is a pickpocket who you can find something for him and bring it back, and he'll give you back your wallet.
Oh, he wants like a sword or something.
Yeah. So there's
it's his boots. It's his boots.
It's his boots. That's right. Yeah. There's a lot of little side quests here, but once we're done with everything here in Baragos, we head south again. It's pretty uneventful. You fight some Orgrillians. I don't know what the fuck that is. I had to double check the spelling 3 times. And also some Hobgoblins who all sound like Pete. Mm-hmm. And I also got accosted by a flaming fist mercenary that was like, "You're a bunch of bandits!" And I was like, "Fuck off, dude." But I was nice.
You have to
hold
talk
on.
your way out of that one.
What's the deal with the flaming fist? Is it they're like aren't they like police?
No, they're like the gay guild.
No, they're mercenaries, but like they're here in this game, in this context, they are like hunting bandits for like the local government, I think.
Oh, they're like a PMC.
Yeah. PMC, huh?
PMC.
So you can fight them if you do not talk your way out of it. There's like one specific dialogue line. I had to like load my game because I was underleveled here and they were wrecking me.
I don't remember these guys fighting me. Maybe I. Said
You
the
probably
right line.
You probably said the right thing. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm here fighting bandits myself, I think is the correct way to do it. Mm-hmm. All right, so you go down to Nashkel, which is the next place to go. It's a smaller town. I did find Baragos annoying because I was trying to find that stupid smithy, and I like went everywhere on the map except for that smithy. And but there's something even more annoying in Nashkel, and it is Noober. Noober is a relic of the 1990s. Noober is internet meme culture of the 1990s, before they called it memes. He's a noob, so he's like talking like an angry internet gamer. And all the questions he's asking, I think, are sort of the ones angry internet gamers were asking BioWare. And he follows you around, pestering you until he runs out of dialogue after telling you about how people usually throw rocks at him. And then he'll just be like, am I annoying you now? How about now? How about now? How about now? He just will follow you around Nashkel. He's very annoying. I haven't thrown rocks at him. I wonder if I could like transform him into a squirrel or something.
I didn't run into this guy.
Yeah, me either.
He's fucking annoying. John's right. He literally follows you around and just harasses you.
Yep.
What are you supposed to do? What would be the renegade option?
Stay away from him. I don't know.
Cast hold
Kill him.
person.
Can you kill him?
Transform.
Probably
you can't.
kill him.
Yeah, you can kill him for sure.
Okay, all right.
The game is like
you should,
taunting you.
Give him some gear and some starting tips. You should always be nice to noobs.
Mm-hmm.
So Nashkel is another little town. It's got an inn, a store, and a temple, which is handy.
Mm-hmm.
When you get there, you meet the mayor, Baroon Guestkill, and he also asks us to investigate the mines. He is like the 10th fucking person that has done so. Like, we get it, game.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I did
you can
get
also
him
run into
to...
Minsk and Edwin, who I did not recruit.
Hey Matt, have you heard of the Iron Crisis?
Who's
No,
Edwin?
His character.
Go ask any NPC in this game, and they'll
the Iron
tell you
Crisis?
all about the Iron
My
Crisis.
journal has been updated with the Iron Crisis. The Iron Crisis is bad. The Iron Crisis is affecting every country. The Iron Crisis seems to be causing to lose the war. But who's
No. Am is the neighboring country, and people think that Am is causing the Iron Crisis. But Alm also seems to be gearing up for a war. And also, even though we've mentioned the bandits, one thing that is told to us over and over again is that there's a huge bandit problem right now in between cities. Travel is hard. What little iron is coming out of the mines is often getting taken by these bandits. It's a whole thing.
I've got a question. So who's Edwin?
Oh, I didn't recruit him, so I don't know.
Because I had this guy Ranshid. Vanessa, did you meet that guy? He's a monk.
Raunchy?
The sun
I
monk?
also recruited the monk, yeah.
He's
Yeah,
pretty
I
cool.
have him, and we're kind of.
He won't
you know,
shut
we're
up about
talking.
his past.
Oh no, that's not what's going on with me.
Well, he's got a friend that died, and he feels
Yeah.
bad about it.
And he used to be like a thief until he got recruited into like the Sun Saviors or whatever.
he told me all of that, and then he also told me about how the moon reflects beautiful, radiant light, and that's how he feels when he's around me.
Oh,
Wow.
that's nice.
That's like the opposite of my relationship with Nira, which is Nira like negging me, like fishing for compliments constantly, and like me needing to constantly reassure her. And then she's like, "You're real nice," and I'm like, "You're pretty hot." And it's
just like real life.
Yeah,
it
that's
is
totally
silly.
your type.
Yeah,
It is
Matthew's
very
got
silly.
relationship
Excuse
flashbacks
me.
like I did with James Vega.
No, Matt actually tends to prefer confident women.
Oh, okay. She reminds me of my
anyway,
friend Tina, who was a lot like that.
Minsk, who is a recruitable guy here. He is a famous character from this game. I did not pick him up. It sounds like some of you did. Please tell me
I did.
about Minsk.
Jim, do you want to talk about Minsk?
Yeah, he's a guy with a pet gerbil or hamster.
Hamster.
I was unaware that it was a hamster until I think it was Matt that told me. It was when we were playing the quarry together the other night.
Oh yeah. Well,
Oh, did you like
but
that?
I thought
Did
he,
you have
I
fun?
thought he had, yeah, I thought he had like a falcon or something because he
No.
was telling it to go for the eyes, but he's got a hamster.
well, and Johnny pointed out that this gets referenced in Mass Effect.
It does, because he claims it's a giant miniature space hamster. So that's what that is, and you can find it you can like buy a giant.
Miniature space hamster.
Yeah,
That's pretty funny.
yeah.
Where do you find it in Mass Effect?
I think in 1 you can get it at a store. I know in 3 it's crawling around engineering.
Yeah, it was hard to catch in 3.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't run across
Oh,
that.
interesting. That's really funny.
I don't know where it is in 2, but if you talk to after you get the hamster, if you talk to the hamster in your quarters, it'll come out of its little house and then go squeak and then go back in.
That's fun. I didn't know I could have a hamster. Now we have to replay Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, I had the hamster, and in 3, when you find like Shepard's stuff when you're retaking the ship in the Citadel DLC, the hamster is like stacked up on a whole bunch of other junk, and Shepard is like,
Oh, is that what that
yeah,
was
and
referencing?
Shepard's like,
I was
this
like,
is
what?
too far.
I was like, what is going on?
So the hamster is Boo's friend. Boo has
No,
suffered.
Minsk. The hamster
Oh,
is named
Minsk, sorry,
Boo, right?
Minsk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Boo the
Minsk
hamster, yeah.
has suffered severe cranial trauma on a number of occasions, and it has caused hallucinations and things. It is mental illness played for a joke, which I know a lot of our listeners really don't like, and I totally understand.
Yeah, I had
I
mean,
character
it's
pretty-
do like a mice and men dialogue reference. It was like, "Tell me about the rabbits." I'm like, "Cool,
Oh my gosh.
cool."
So he's got a mission. I can't remember the name of his girlfriend. His girlfriend has been kidnapped and is being held in a knoll stronghold.
That's a Dinah hair?
Yeah, Dynahair. And the thing is,
Dino hair.
After 15 days, he starts freaking out and calling you cowards and won't
Oh,
be
yeah.
happy until you go west. So I did that. I went west to Dynahair.
Well, you have to go like really far south and then go, because like when they tell you it's like southwest of here, you have to go way south and then way west.
It wasn't that. I mean, you see it on the map. It didn't take. I mean, it's like five.
Oh, I couldn't
five
find it. Like
locations.
I felt like I had to go way far south to get there.
No, I just went west. And then the only problem is that I was underleveled at the Knoll Stronghold. So that took me forever of like save scumming to get through it. And then I didn't find her. She wasn't there. And then I went and played again, and I was like looking around, and it respawns the knolls on the map. You can't clear out the map. And I was getting so frustrated. Look it up, because she is in an area that you can walk around. There's
No,
this
yes, you have to like walk down this. It doesn't look like stairs. It looks
Yeah.
like a series of like poles in the ground.
Yes.
That like intersect a circle.
And you won't
It does
see
not look
her.
like anything you can walk on.
You will not see her unless you go down that. Just look it up on the internet because it's
you
so
have to
stupid.
go all the way down this thing, and then she'll populate in there. It was very frustrating.
I mean, I did this. I fought through this 3 times because I thought she wasn't there until I Googled it, and it's like, oh, she is there. You just have to go down to the floor she's on before she pops up. But I've got her in her party. She's pretty useful. She's got some good spells.
She's a really good mage. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd recommend doing
my
it.
thing is I have Nira. I don't want 2 mages, so I've been turning away mages left and right.
I don't
Well,
know.
I think
Later in
she's
the
better
game,
than
having 2 mages in the game is really good. So you might want to like level up a second mage.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Because they'll get like once they get Fireball, which is like a level when they're level 5, that thing just wrecks.
Yeah, but it does. But you can harm your own party with that stuff.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know if it gives you. You just have to be careful. Like with Entangle, Jaheira's spell, you have to make sure you use that kind of far away from people.
It also lasts for fucking ever.
But it's the only way that I got through the boss fight at the end of this chunker was using Entangle on all the mobs. So yeah, I recruited Dynahair. I left Imoen here at the Knoll Stronghold, and then with all the traps killing my party, I had to go like I was so mad. This wasn't last night. It was the night before, and I thought that we were recording yesterday. So I was like staying up late. So I had to go all the way back from the mines to the Knoll Stronghold to get Imoen back because she just stays wherever you leave her. Oh, I was so mad. My cat was coming up and being a little whiny. I was like, "No, cat, I am in the middle of this."
Yeah, we were talking about this in the group chat. I think it was like last night or earlier today or something. And it's my position that every time you release a party member, they need to go to the Friendly Arms Inn.
There's
A lot of them
no
will just
other
hang out
place
where
they
you
should go.
leave them. So you better fucking remember where that was if you're gonna.
Well,
pick them
and
back
like
up.
some they'll not only some will stay where you leave them, some will go all the way back to where you found them.
Yeah. Rashad.
Some of them
so
will
like-
not. Some
will go-
characters, if you don't. Sorry, John.
Like
Oh,
the
you go
one
ahead.
you find at the end of this chunker. Like
Yeah.
if you
some
if
party
you
members,
release
if you
them
don't
from your
recruit
party-
them, if you don't recruit them when they ask, they just leave forever.
Where does Zan go?
Well, like this guy too. Like if you
He goes
release
home
him,
back to another country.
Oh, I thought he went back to where you found him in this dungeon.
Well, it
which is,
depends
like, at
on
level
if
4.
you've actually
we're
recruited
talking
him.
about 2 different things.
Yeah.
You're saying
okay.
when you release them. I'm saying if you don't recruit him.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Oh, you
Usually-
just miss him totally. It's,
Yeah, if you don't recruit them, they're gone forever most of the time. But yeah, if you release them,
I mean, some of them
go
hang
back.
around. Rashid, the monk, just hung around.
Yeah, he just goes
Aragast.
back to Nashkel. He's outside the inn in Nashkel, and
Oh, you said that he was at Baragast when we were in Baragast.
I'm sorry, I meant Nashkel.
Speaking of, there are other people that you can recruit around Nashkel. For example, there is a carnival to the east where you can find
I haven't
a
done this
woman
yet.
who has been turned to stone, and somebody sells you a stones to flesh scroll for too much money. But if you buy it and use it, or if you have the spell yourself, you can unlock Branwen, who is a cleric, and she is fucking awesome. And I love her, and I'm so glad I finally got her. I finally got a cleric in my party. She heals. I don't have Resurrect Dead yet, but I'll definitely get it. I'm very excited about that because the early game death penalty is a nightmare.
I have to go back and get her because, I have to get Neela because she has my stone to flesh.
Nira?
Nira, she has my stone to flesh scroll, so I need to go get her to get that scroll. Do you know where they sell that scroll?
No.
Okay.
There's
Anyway,
that guy in the High Holt or whatever that does sell scrolls. Anyway,
so you
when
make
you
your
get to
way-
Nashkel, you can rest at the inn. And if you do, first of all, there's yet another assassination attempt. Fun. It's always weird to me that a lot of these cities, like people will tell you, like, we don't put up with violence in this city, but then somebody will try to kill you and everybody just ignores it.
the one where Nimber or whatever his name was attacked the guards, and because Rascal was right there, he came and helped too. So I don't know if it's like a reputation thing, like if the town likes you, the guards will help. Because the armed soldiers came
The one
and
at the
attacked.
friendly arm in definitely they were like, "Don't you fuck around here, dude!" And then immediately I got attacked, and I was like, "Oh no, am I going to get arrested? What's going to happen?" And they were all just like, "Dur, dur, dur.
I wonder if it's a because the first time I saw NPCs helping me was after I did the mine, so Nashkel probably liked me more. I don't know. It's interesting.
But you do get a cutscene when you rest at the inn where you have a dream. You dream of Gorion. It's text. It's not a cutscene. But you have a dream. You dream of Gorion. He tells us not to return to Candlekeep. We must go on. And then we hear an evil voice. But when you wake up in the morning, you have a new power.
Ooh.
Oh, I didn't notice this power for another couple hours.
I mean, he used it himself. My main character was just went ahead and used it himself, which was nice.
Is it the healing one? That's the one.
Yeah,
right?
the first one is Cure Light Wounds.
Yeah,
you can
that's
use
useful.
that once a day. And when you level up, you can use it more times, which is pretty great.
Yay.
These powers have a name, but it's a spoiler, so I'm not going to get into that.
Okay. So there was someone at the Friendly Arms Inn named Dorn who gets mad every time you try to talk to him. I was like, but I want more orcs. I want a fun orc party. But when you go
Dorn?
to
I recruited Dorn, but though I did it after the mines.
Yeah. Well, let me talk about it.
I didn't. So you found him at the inn first?
Yeah, he's at the Friendly Arms, but when you go to the mines, at least this is what happened to me. I ran into this guy who was like, "Hey,"
Yeah, it's when you're traveling.
Yeah. What was the guy's deal? It was this guy and this lady.
Well, they had Dorn. They attack you. They're bandits.
Oh, they are bandits.
So it's
okay.
it's not a cutscene, but it's while you're mid traveling between areas, you'll get this special
scripted
small
encounter.
area. Yes, thank you. You get a scripted encounter where these bandits attack you, and you clearly, I'm sure that everybody told them to fuck off. But then they start getting killed from the back, and Dorn is he an orc or a half orc?
He's a half orc.
Dorn the half orc shows up and is like, "I'll fucking kill you." It's great.
Yeah,
he's
it's pretty awesome.
And he comes and helps you. But during this fight, this is the first time I did it. During this fight, he starts attacking, and I had Nira in the party, and she was using her magic, and then she cast a spell, and I didn't notice this happening because the text scrolls by too fast. She injures Dorn, and so then he turns into a dragon, and he's attacking. First, he kills those two people, but then he just murders my entire party.
Oh wow!
Whoa.
Yeah, and he's really powerful in this dragon form.
Attacking because I very much he was killing them, and I was like, I don't want to fuck with this guy. So you've got that stop option in your party menu, and I just I hit that. I was like, everybody fucking freeze.
Once he kills those two, he's like, you can talk to him, and you can recruit him because he's so powerful. But the second you do, everyone's like, oh, you're going to consort with this kind of guy. If that's what Jadira says. And Imoen's like, I don't think this is the kind of guy we should be hanging out with. And Khalid's
I felt like as soon as I put him in my party, because if you just tell
he's
him no,
evil.
then you said they leave forever. So I put him in my party for a minute, and everybody just took turns scolding me.
Yeah.
They'll be like,
tell you what.
I don't know about this guy.
With Dorn, if you don't recruit him, he won't. He'll just go wait for you at the Friendly Arm Inn. Because I did not recruit him because my party was full and I didn't want to fuck with my makeup because I was heading for the mines and I wasn't sure what would happen to the person I ditched. Anyway, he went and waited for me at the Friendly Arm Inn. After the Nashkel Mines, I went and picked him up. Because after the Nashkel Mines, I ditched Jahira and her boyfriend. Fuck them.
Yeah, so did I actually. Yeah.
well, I think that Artie was saying, they're more helpful for the beginning. Those two
They're
characters.
really boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're boring. That's fine. There's fucking 300 characters in this game or something to recruit. Pick the ones you like. I'm looking for an opportunity to get rid of Imoen. Find me a better rogue, and she is gone.
Oh, I dismissed her pretty early. Once I got Nira, I think I let her go.
Isn't
It's
Kevin?
me, Imoen.
No, Kevin was a rogue.
Yeah.
No, Kevin was a ranger.
Oh, okay.
Like Minsk. I don't have a ranger in my party at this point. Fucking who needs it?
I don't know.
Anyway, let's get through the end of this. We go to the Nashkel Mines after we wake up and we have our new
Wait,
spell.
maybe that's after.
we leave Nashkel and we head to the Nashkel Mines.
And
Once you get there, you have to talk to a guy named Emerson, and he'll give you entry to the mines.
If you talk to the
And-
people camped out there, they're like, "Oh yeah, go talk to Emerson." Talk to Emerson. Emerson's like, "Oh, you just want to steal? You were just gonna go waltz into the mines because you're an adventurer and you can go wherever you want." I'm like, "Well, but I was asking you for permission." He's like, "Fine then, get my permission to go into my mines, you jerk." Like, what's wrong with you?
He's under a lot of stress.
And the mayor specifically has asked you to do this. So, like, who's this guy to tell you no?
This
Like,
guy
what are you
sucks.
talking about, guy? But once you get in there, honestly, this dungeon is pretty quick. It's 4 levels. You go down. There's a couple of short side quests where it's like, find my buddy and give him his knife.
Yeah, it's like, here's Kylie's
Oh, but that guy,
dagger.
like, that guy finally solves the quest of what's happening in the dungeons. If you give him the knife, you get a lot of XPs. So that's
I thought it was
Yeah.
pretty funny, actually. They keep talking about, like, being attacked by, like, little devils. And my character one of my options kept being, like, sounds like kobolds.
and the
Yeah,
guy.
well,
You
one
head
of
down to
them
the
was like,
second floor, and there are kobolds there. And you're like, yep.
And if you
There's-
talk
there-
to the dagger, oh, you go ahead, Jim.
I was gonna say there's some dialogue that's like, oh, there's like skittering demons in the tunnels, and someone's like, there's no such thing as skittering demons, you idiot. It was really funny.
Which is weird because you live in a fantasy world that definitely includes demons, dragons,
The guy who you give the knife to is like, yes, kobolds. He's like the
goblins.
only sane person left in the mines. I don't like that the miners are all they're just wearing like loincloths. Is it? I guess
yeah.
it's sweaty
Goblins.
work.
Y'all know what a hobgoblin is?
It's a different kind of goblin.
It's Goblin with a hob.
I went down a Wikipedia hole on this. Early in Dungeons and Dragons early years, they got the shit suit out of them by the Tolkien estate because they were ripping off Tolkien left and right. And first of all, I guess that, you know how in Tolkien there's goblins and there's orcs, but they seem to be the same thing? And that's because orc is like the human word for goblin, or goblin is the human word for orc.
Oh.
And you know that there are the, what are they called? They're in the movie. They're huge in the movies.
Trolls?
The Urukai.
Oh, Urukai.
And Urukai is the orc word for, the human word for that is hobgoblin.
Oh.
Oh, that's cool.
So, but Dungeons and Dragons, because they had to differentiate these things, made hobgoblins like their own race or whatever. And that's why we have orcs and goblins and hobgoblins in Dungeons and Dragons, because they had to differentiate themselves from Lord of the Rings.
And
Anyway,
halflings
and,
instead of hobbits.
Yep, halflings instead of hobbits.
The early Final Fantasy games like basically traced their enemy sprites out of the monster manual. That's why you have
Oh, really?
displacer beasts and beholders and the very D&D like orcs and goblins and stuff.
I like the idea that goblins are their own thing, to be honest with you. I like short little green men and orcs being like giant, almost like half trolls, you know? Like that's a fun thing. And I think that the Tolkien idea that these are all just like one race is a little more vanilla, a little more boring. Anyway, the mines, there's 4 levels. You just kind of walk through this mine fighting kobolds and fucking spiders and trying to dodge these goddamn traps.
Just one room with spiders. I don't
There
know why
are
you're
so
having
many spiders.
I don't know why you're having such a
Wait until you fucking run
There's
into this
only
phase
one
spider,
room
buddy.
with spiders.
Wait until you run into the phase spiders.
Did you
They're,
find the weird
nightmare.
Although I will say, these spiders, way too realistic looking, fucking disgusting, gross. I didn't like it at
what
all.
do you think of that statue of a giant spider under the SkyTrain line in Vancouver?
And they
I
just
saw
cute.
that. Oh my god. I saw that on the internet the other day. That's disgusting.
You know what else? I mean, can you believe that here in Florida, a class was shown a picture of the statue of David?
It's
I saw that.
disgusting,
What?
and everyone should be fired.
Controversy. What controversy?
That's
This
pornography.
fucking 1,000-year-old statue. I hate this state. I don't hate this state. I hate the shitty political party that runs it. Anyway,
I love that bit at the end of the Itchy and Scratchy Get Banned episode of The Simpsons where Marge is like, well, I'm not against David's nudity. I think that's art. And then they're like, well, how can you be for one form of art and then wanting to censor the other form of art? And she's like, I guess I can't. And then they go look at the statue of David. It's a good ending.
Anyway, we do head down through the mines, and you reach level 4, where you find an underground lake with a big cave in the center of it.
And there's a secret ooze if you go around the edge of the lake, and it gives you
I ran away from the ooze because I was afraid. Does it? I was terrified of the ooze.
Wait, what does it do?
It's just a higher level monster.
The secret of the ooze?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a gray ooze.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
I
found
was
him and I
terrified of
killed
the
him
ooze.
because I'm not afraid of anything because I'm invincible.
If you head into the cave, if you head straight into the cave, you can find an elf named Zan who's being held captive. I at this point was like, I have a full party and I don't want to fuck around with it. I want to fight. I know there's a boss in here. So I was like, I'm good. I'll see you later, thinking that I would go recruit him later. And instead he was like, fuck you, and went home to another country. So fuck me. I'm never picking up Zan. It's a real bummer because he has a lightsaber.
I did have to go get Imoen because those traps in the basement, like right before you get to the cave, really killed me because there's like 3 different poison darts and then magic missiles come and attack you.
You really do have to have a thief, like at least one in your party to find and disable traps. And also, like, you're going to start running into locked chests. And unless you want to use the knock spell and then sleep and then use the knock spell and then sleep and then there's a part coming up in the next chunker where there are like a dozen locked chests in an area. Like, it's a fucking nightmare if you don't have a thief.
I gave my little dwarf like super high lock picking. Like when I was
I thought she was a fighter cleric.
Yeah, what the fuck?
No, like when I was assigning points though, like there were only really 3 one, because I put my proficiencies in swords like katana and longsword, and those really aren't native to the character that I made, so I had to put my points in weird places for them to actually matter. Otherwise they would have just been detrimented by my class. So lock picking, I put like 50 points in.
That's good. I mean, you need it.
Yeah.
Like, somebody's got to have it in your party. Anyway,
I want to talk about Zan.
Yeah, let's talk about Zan.
I recruited Zan, and he is my favorite character because he is basically like Marvin the android, and every time like we get into a fight, he's like, this whole thing's doomed. We're gonna die. This quest is pointless.
What
I
class
hate
is
this.
he?
He's a mage, right?
Yep. He's he's an enchanter. So if you
but he can use
about
this
it.
magical flaming sword thing.
Yeah. He manipulates the minds of sentient beings.
Ooh, that sounds pretty good.
But I love him. He's so stupid and depressed.
Is he romanceable?
Oh my god,
know. I
he's
hope
like
so.
he's the most depressing character ever.
He's great, and I'm never letting him out of my party.
Like he's the most cynical, like everything is terrible. He has such funny lines of dialogue, but like everyone else in your party hates him.
Yeah.
I'm so mad that I didn't pick him up.
Vanessa, I have 2 questions for you.
Yep.
One, is his hair floppy?
Let's see. I have the character profile right here, actually. Let me move in.
That's
I
a
can
hood
see
on.
that.
Get you a good look of Zan. Can you see him?
Yeah, there's some
He's a
floppy
hood.
hair.
Yeah.
Isn't
that's floppy hair. It's not a hood.
And 2, is he a magician?
He is an enchanter and a mage, both of which I would say are subsets of a magician. Yes.
That means he's good at up close magic.
Yeah.
Well, he I guess it says he specializes in minds, so he's like a Darren Brown.
A mind fuck? Or was that
He's
the
a mind
mind
freak.
Mind
fuck.
fuck?
Mind freak.
No,
Chris
no, like-
Angel, mind freak.
He's like a mentalist, He's like the
He can
Kinda
make an
guy.
orgasm appear.
yeah.
Is that what mentalists do? They just make people orgasm.
Yep.
I'm so bummed I didn't get this guy. He's right up my alley. Anyway, inside the cave, we find this guy. His name is Mulehay. Mulehay? Does that sound right?
Mullahay? I was going to say Mullahay.
I thought it was Mullahay, yeah.
Yeah. Like Mulaney.
And he's a big talker. He monologues at you. He tells you that he's the leader of the kobolds and that he has been using a mineral poison to taint the ore in the mines. And
he's
you have
like,
to kill him.
you're,
I mean, I don't know what to say. Kill his ass.
You're from Turak sent you.
It is Tazok.
Tazok sent you, didn't you? And you're like, yeah. So you better behave, or you can say, no, I'm not. I'm just looking around. Either way, one, he'll be like, oh, the things Tazok wants are in this chest. But if you try to open the chest, then he does attack you. And if you say you're just an adventurer, he's like, oh, then I can kill you, no problem. Either way, he attacks you and then summons all his koboldsies, and his skellies.
This is a hard fight, and this is when I had to turn it down to easy to get through it, because I got killed a couple of times and was like, fuck you.
I died on easy. I died on normal. What I had to do was gain a level. I went back and did some other side quests, and then use entangle on the mob that attacks you there, so that you can take them out of the equation and just concentrate.
How did it not entangle your guys?
There's enough space. No. Well, I did this a dozen times. So Jaheira has to stand. She kind of there's like an X in the intersection. She stands on the right side of the X and then casts it on the far left side of the X, and that will get all the enemies that come in from those areas. And then I had Imoen. I turned Imoen invisible, and she backstabbed the Mullahay.
Oh my.
And that does a lot of damage. And she also has a wand of magic missiles, so I got her and Dinah here to like zap, 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 because he was dodging everyone else's
I was using
attacks.
that too.
So that seems to help. And eventually he exploded. And he didn't explode, but
you kill him and you find some letters, and the letters are from his master who's named Tazok. And Tazok says, one of them is like, you're doing a terrible job. How could you let the kobolds attack the miners? You're supposed to be there in secret. And then the other letter is like, okay, here's some more mineral poison. It basically spells out for you what's going on. Here's some more mineral poison. Go poison this fucking mine. We don't want the people of Baldur's Gate having iron. My mercenaries, he talks about how he's hired 2 mercenary crews. One's called the Chill, which is a bunch of hobgoblins. I don't remember what the other one was called. Anyway, and then he tells, in his letter, he says to Mulaney to reach out, if he needs anything, to reach out to his contact, Tranzig, who is staying at the Feld Post in Baragast. So we have saved the mines, and now we have a new target.
Danzig.
The end.
Is the Iron Crisis over?
I guess. I don't know.
Well, you definitely take yourself back to Baragast. You should have a sample of the mineral poison, and the smith in Baragast will find a way to counteract the mineral poison so that your stuff
This is next
less
chunker. This is next chunker talk.
fucked
Yeah,
up. Yes,
yeah.
you're right. It is next chunker.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's
a little
basically
next
the next
chunker.
thing you do.
Yeah.
But yep. Next week we're going to play through chapters 3 and 4, and maybe 5, probably just 3 and 4. But if we feel like that's too short, we might do 5 as well. There are 7 chapters in this game. We might get it through it faster than we thought, even though it's long. I think a lot of the length is how much side shit there is to do.
Yeah.
Speaking of, before we get into our squarely against, I think we should talk about some side quests like we were doing with Mass Effect. And does anybody have any side quests that they want to talk about?
Well,
Yes.
imagine that I talked about Dinah here, because I think that's my side quest.
That's what I was going to talk about too, John. But there's 2 ways it can resolve. Did we talk about that?
No.
Depending on who you have in your party. So, the guy with the hamster wants you to save her.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I did. Oh, and there's a
Yeah,
guy who came
and-
up and wanted me to kill her too. Is that
Yes, there's a
Edwin?
guy. There's a guy and I can't remember their names, but there's a guy and his friend. Maybe it's just a guy. I thought he had a friend that come into your party and he wants you to kill her. And so when you find her, like at that point, if you choose to save her and not kill her, then you have to kill him.
Ooh. Yeah, I didn't have that because I wasn't going to do what he asked at all because I was like, this seems shitty. And Minsk is in my party and Minsk wants me to save her. So I was going to do what Minsk wanted.
Yeah.
'Cause he's a beefy boy with a little pet hamster.
I have a side effect quest I want to talk about.
Tell me about your side effect quest.
I found a chicken. I found a chicken in the woods. And
Son of a bitch. You don't have Mellencamp the chicken in in the notes.
All right, Matt, why don't you talk
No,
about Mellencamp the
I
chicken?
refuse. Buzz.
Yes, Matt.
Buzz.
Yes,
I
Matt.
refuse.
Oh, okay. Found a chicken. Found a chicken in
Mellencamp.
the woods, and the chicken was like, "Excuse me, Babak. Can you please help me, Babak? I have a problem, Babak." And I'm like, "Yes, chicken. What is your problem?" And the
You have
chicken
to save it from a wolf.
Yeah, you save it from the wolf, and then the chicken explains,
Wolf.
my babak problem is I'm a babak chicken. I'm an apprentice to this wizard who lives up north. Can you please take me there? I accidentally turned myself into a babak chicken.
So where's this chicken?
His master is at High Hedge, which is one of the early areas that we go to.
Where's the chicken?
He is in the
woods.
Red Canyons.
Oh, I don't think I went there yet.
It's south of High Hedge. The area south of High Hedge.
I haven't been to High Hedge.
High Hedge is the one. High Hedge is the one where you run into a man who's like, oh, there's this wizard's lair here, and I'm gonna rob the shit out of this, and you can be like, maybe don't fucking do that, guy.
I haven't done any of this.
John.
I'll do it this time. I'll do it.
You don't have to do it, Johnny. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. Don't let
So,
me bully
do
you
you
into
save
playing
the-
video games?
Excuse me, John has to 100% these games. That's the role he's chosen for himself.
did you
He's the only one that
save-
finishes every game. He's
Did
the only one that
you
never misses any
turn-
episodes. He's the only one that 100%s every game.
Did you turn the?
Remember when John missed that episode recently and it was like the best episode we've ever done?
Well, we always say that, but the truth is, Johnny did not finish Final Fantasy VI.
Hey.
Yeah.
So
John's never finished it,
did
actually.
you
Yeah, it's true.
turn? So did you save Chicken Man?
Yeah, so then if you agree to help the chicken nestles itself into your rucksack. Which is the cutest
Which is to say,
thing you could
it
possibly
appears in
imagine.
your fucking inventory. So fucking funny.
That is really
So funny.
And then you can transport the chicken back to the wizard, and the wizard's like, "That's not my
The wizard's name
apprentice."
is Thalantir the Conjurer.
And the wizard's like, "Yeah, I don't have an apprentice.
Yeah.
This guy's just an idiot who hangs around here." And then he stole my stuff, and now apparently has turned himself into a chicken. But you could be like, "Will you please help this chicken?" And the wizard's like, "Fine, I guess."
He tells you that he needs. He tells you that he needs a skull, the skull of an undead creature.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
swear, maybe I just read it too much into this, but I swear he was like, "Well, good luck finding a fucking skull of an undead creature, bud." And you walk out his door and there's like 30 skeletons.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well,
And
actually, pretty easy.
yeah, and he talks about the spell he's going to do. He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to do this like resurrection spell." And
No,
the
hang on. It has a name. The spell that he casts is called the Anti-Chickinator spell. And it actually has a 50-50 chance of failing. So you can kill this chicken. He can kill this chicken.
Oh, I had
And then
no
the quest
idea.
is just never completable.
Oh no.
Damn.
If you do complete it, it's worth 2,000 XP.
Yep.
Oh.
And the chicken freaks out. The chicken's like, "Isn't the spell of chickenation, like, doesn't that involve resurrection? And doesn't that mean that I have to die?" And he's like, "Well,
Yeah.
what do you think the skull's for? You have to have an element of death, stupid chicken." But yeah, it worked for me, and he did de-chickenify, and I was hoping I could then put him in my party and have a chicken pal forever, but I didn't get that option.
I liked that the result, if you managed to save, which I did as well, actually. On the first try, I was looking, when I was looking at doing the notes, I was looking at it. Apparently, people have a tough time with this and can fail over and over and over and over and over.
Oh, wow.
I had no
and have to
idea.
reload their saves. Weird, right?
I didn't
Yeah.
even think to save scum it before I took him there. I'm just like, oh yeah, take the chicken over here.
Well, it's really annoying that quest is so easy to cluck up because the rewards are pretty
Cluck up.
paltry.
There's actually a lot of great lines of dialogue here when you're talking to the chicken. Your protagonist gets a lot of lines that are like really goofy and silly,
Like egging him on.
One of them is unholy magics are afoot. This chicken is possessed. This bird is foul. It's real dumb. But I thought it had a nice resolution, which is that once he saves the apprentice, he does decide to apprentice him. He's like, okay, you fucked up, but I guess I need to keep you under my eye, and I guess that you are talented enough to have turned yourself into a chicken, so I suppose the best thing to do for you is to actually teach you.
It's very kind, really.
But he has to charge.
It's funny because this Thalantir guy is a total dickhead.
Yeah, Baldur
He's
sucks.
very mean. And but he will sell you spells and scrolls and stuff, which is nice. And he will buy weird shit from you as well, which is
Yeah.
cool. All right,
But when
Jim,
you first
you've got
meet
one
him,
here.
he's like, "You
Oh,
suck. Get out of my house unless you want to
Yeah.
sell me something."
Oh, that's the Dyna Air quest.
Oh, dang. All right.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's our side quest corner. We'll have some more for you next week, listeners. And why don't we talk about what we are squarely against? Johnny.
I am squarely against missing all the time. They miss, you miss, we miss, we all miss, they miss.
I don't know what Thaco means. I don't
to
want
hit
to
armor
know what
class.
Thaco means.
Never mind then.
Wait, what does it mean?
To hit armor class 0, you have to
That's
roll
stupid.
this number, and so if it's
Oh my
negative
God.
that, then you have to roll. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
confused at the
wow.
beginning of this game when I realized that the better armors had lower
Lower.
numbers.
Yeah.
Your AC
Yeah.
being lower is better. That threw me for a loop for sure.
Interesting.
Vanessa, what are you squarely against?
I'm squarely against the sort of obtuseness of the game. It's not easy to pick up and just start playing. It's not really user-friendly in the way that we expect modern video games to be. It doesn't have an integrated tutorial. It has a little bit in town.
not integrated.
Yeah.
But it doesn't kind of have that natural storytelling that eases you into game mechanics that you see in contemporary games, and I think that could definitely be a barrier for people, and in fact Johnny told us that it was. So there you go.
I think that they hewed as close as possible to making this feel as much as possible like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, a advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2e campaign, which is not really very good game design for a video game. It's great. Maybe it's great game design for a tabletop RPG. I don't know. I've never played it, but it does not feel like very good game design for a video game. What about you, Jim? What are you squarely against?
I will say that I'm roundly for the updates from the original version to this newer version. What do they call it?
Enhanced edition?
The enhanced edition. I will say that if this was like a point and click, if I was clicking around to get, I probably would have already dropped this game.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm not a
that would
point
have killed
and click
me.
guy.
Yeah. That would have been a too high of a barrier for me. But
How does combat
no.
work? Do you hit A to swing your sword, or
So you steer your
No.
character around, right, with the analogs, and then
It's the
when
same. You click on enemies and they'll attack.
Yeah,
you-
but I'm not
you
clicking-
constantly.
I'm not clicking to move around the map though.
Oh,
Yeah, you do drive around with the analog. I mean, you can hit right on the D-pad to pull up a cursor that you can drag around the screen.
Yeah.
Which I have to
But
do.
yeah,
I am playing
if
on
I was, like,
PC
clicking
with a
to-
mouse and keyboard.
Oh yeah, I remember you trying to figure out your settings the other day, John.
Yeah, that
like
was-
how
that
to
took,
how
like,
to
half
like
an
get the
hour.
camera to always center on you. Like that wasn't a default option.
That's
that was really
crazy.
frustrating. Yeah. Yeah, no, I like the way the game feels. So even though it's kind of antiquated, like it is much more playable than I imagine it was in the original version. So I like making game updates for players nowadays. Roundly 4.
Well, as for me, I'm going to go ahead and give a duel squarely against Roundly 4. I'm Roundly 4 the depth that we have seen in this game so far. I think that the amount of characters that you can recruit, the stories that are involved with a lot of these characters, the crazy amount of side quests we've run into just in the first couple of chapters is really great. It really feels like it's got a ton of depth, which a lot of these RPGs that we play on this show do not feel like they have. And it also feels like it has a more traditional story, like more of a, just more traditional story that's less, like you are going to make some friends and go on an adventure and maybe kill God at the end, which we might end up doing, let's be honest. But it feels a little more, it's just for me, maybe it just feels a little more comforting. Everybody knows I love fantasy, the settings, big fantasy reader. But I am squarely against the fact that oftentimes when I command my party to attack a group of enemies, they will kill the one person that I clicked on, and then we'll all turn around and walk away, leaving me
I feel like that happens
to
to
get
me all the
fucking
time.
murdered. Well, I've kind of figured it out, which is that you should click on the enemies to get them in attack mode, and then kind of cancel it, pause it, kind of cancel it, kind of move them closer with a movement command, but then kind of cancel that and then re-attack. It sounds like a lot. It really only takes a second. It sounds like a lot. It really only takes a second, but it has stopped that particular flaw, but it is like a weird flaw where many times in this game, particularly early on, I would find my protagonist surrounded by 6 hobgoblins or whatever, and the rest of my party just kind of standing around jerking off. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. And that's it. That's the show, gang. Do we have any emails we want to read this week? I think we got one. Vanessa.
On email,
This is Vanessa work.
not that I'm aware of, but let's find out.
I think we
Let
got
me just
one.
go ahead and update these notes.
Let's see, we got an email from Salt and Straw Ice Cream.
No.
This email we read last time.
Did we not get a new email? I swear we did.
Here's one. This is from G. Bailey. Hey, Squoots, longtime listener, third-time emailer. It is established podcast lore that Vanessa, that's me, hates a ghost you don't know is a ghost.
Oh, yeah.
However, there are other common you don't know is situations that she, that's me, to my knowledge, has yet to go on the record for. I believe the public needs and deserves to know where she, meaning I, sit on these. Number 1, a robot you don't know is a robot. 100% fine with it. I don't believe that artificial life should be treated any differently from biological life. Therefore, it doesn't matter if a robot is a robot or not. Treat them like you would treat...
So what if Matt turned out to be a robot? You just be totally okay with that?
Yeah, totally fine.
That is a running joke in my house, actually.
That you're a robot?
Yes, my daughter likes to ask me if I'm her dad, and I like to tell her no, I'm a robot sent from the future to kill her.
an alien you don't know is an alien. 100% fine with that. I believe in immigration. I think it's overall good for the economy. And if an alien wants to come and live and work on Earth, that's fine with me. And I don't see a need to differentiate between them and any other American. A vampire you don't know is a vampire. This one, I mean, it's just not cool. Like, it's not cool to go around being a vampire and not tell people. I'm not going to be, like, freaked out about it like a ghost. Like, if I'm hanging out with someone and suddenly their fangs are out, it's going to suck. No pun intended.
It's the worst joke I've ever heard in my life.
Wow. Bleep that out.
But it's not going to give me that chill. You know, like the ghost. Oh, it just like it makes my stomach drop. A vampire, I'd really like to know if they're a vampire, so I kind of know how to deal with them, i.e. not inviting them into my home and whipping them in the face with some silver until they go away. But not quite the same. A superhero you don't know is a superhero. That's just a superhero. Like, show me a superhero that doesn't have a secret identity, and I'll show
Iron
you
Man.
just a normal guy. Batman? Is that what he said?
No, I said Iron Man.
Oh. Yeah, he did kind of blow it. He was secret for a little bit. A Matrix...
For the longest time in the comics, Tony Stark pretended that Iron Man was his bodyguard.
Yep. And everybody bought it.
It was really dumb. Nope, not Happy Hogan.
Oh.
An anonymous bodyguard that nobody knew who it was.
Oh.
Comics are dumb.
Yeah. A Matrix you don't know is a Matrix.
That's just life.
That's the best kind of... It's not a Matrix if you know it's a Matrix.
Yeah. I would
What?
rather not know.
It's a Matrix either
it's
way.
a Matrix.
No, it's not. If you know it's a Matrix, it's not a Matrix anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a blue pillar. I'm happy
It's just
with
a shitty
Matrix
VR
I
game?
don't know is a Matrix. Love it. And finally, a podcaster you don't know is a podcaster. I assume everyone I meet is a podcaster. Like, who does not have a podcast these days?
Yeah.
I can't think of a single person. And if they don't have a podcast, they've been a guest on a podcast.
You know what? I don't believe that. Not for 1 second.
Not for 1 second do you believe that I believe that everyone is on a podcast?
No, I don't believe that most people...
My
been on a
mom was
podcast.
on our podcast for like 10 seconds one time where she's like, hello, everybody.
Name one person who hasn't been on a podcast.
I don't know.
Henry Kissinger.
He's definitely been on a podcast.
Yeah,
People that are dead don't count.
Yeah.
He's still alive.
He's
a vampire.
very much alive. Yeah.
He
He's
should
probably
never
be
been
die.
on a podcast then.
All right. Richard Nixon.
He's dead.
He made his
He
own
died
podcast.
before podcasts were a thing.
I would say
Okay.
he famously made his own podcast and it got him into a lot of trouble.
It was very racist. Okay.
All right. Anyways, I didn't mean to. What? Wait. Who hasn't been on a podcast? Jesse the Body Ventura.
He fucking definitely has been on a podcast, bud.
All
there are
the-
so
all the
many
people-
wrestling podcasts.
Oh,
he
that's
definitely
right. I
has
always
his
forget
own
about-
podcast.
All those people
Oh,
over
yeah.
50 at my
he's
work.
like
I don't see any of them
conspiracy
being
guy,
on
right?
podcasts.
Who?
All the people over 50 at my work. I don't see any of them being on podcasts.
See, John, that's my frame of reference. Is I don't think any of my coworkers do or have been on a podcast.
You
I just don't believe
see
it.
people be on podcasts, you hear them.
There's
But I
definitely an
can't-
ice cream
I can't
podcast out there that
imagine
all
them
of your
being on a
coworkers
podcast.
have been on, and you have not been invited to.
I'm gonna
Because they've
bleep
heard
out the
this,
word
and they're
ice
like,
cream.
no thanks.
So that, they won't know.
You mentioned salt and straw earlier.
I know, but I just thought it'd be funny.
It was.
It's okay
Here's
for
the
me to
thing.
dox Jim, but not for you.
Here's the thing about oldies. I consider calling into a radio show being on a podcast.
Your
The original
definition is too
podcast.
broad.
Yep.
Your definition is too broad.
Disagree.
All right, I
think that
really
Vanessa
have to
has
go to work.
nailed-
I really have to go to work, so let's wrap
also,
this
I
up.
think in the year 2023, it probably doesn't broaden the definition that much.
Maybe not.
All right, so we have a Patreon. Thank you, Mr. Bailey, for your email. Is there any more, or is that it?
That was it.
Are you kidding me? You just yelled at us about how you have to leave. Now you're asking if there's more emails.
Well, I just
got an
wanted to
email
make
right here that
sure
I'm gonna
I
read.
didn't miss
Dear
another
Square Roots podcast.
salient.
John doesn't have to go to work. We should talk some more about
So
things.
we have a
We're a
Patreon.
minute away from John's heart out.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have a Patreon. On our
See,
Patreon.
John, I listen to you when you talk about your
Thank
schedule.
you. Thank you. We have a Patreon. On our Patreon, you can be a $3 a month patron, which helps support the show, and we'll give you every single bonus episode we've ever recorded. And if you are a $5 a month Patreon, you get that. You support the show, and you get to vote on upcoming games. And we're talking about the next couple of votes, although this game's pretty long, so it's going to be a little while before we get to Jim's nightmare votes. I guess we'll
Oh,
put
I
that
got
up
some.
in the-
I got some good ones cooked up, guys.
Don't
You're,
forget that we have
don't
all
even know.
agreed to do Seeds of Dragonspear along with Baldur's Gate. That's
What?
an
we
extra
are
20
we
hours.
are DLC. We're DLC. Another 20 hours? Are you kidding me?
I'm gonna have to. That
man.
doesn't come. That doesn't come with my game. I'll have
Yes,
to
it does.
But
Oh.
it
We're
does?
gonna be playing this till my birthday.
Did
I
you
think
not
I
buy
have
the?
to-
Was it not a 2-pack?
No, so I'll have to get that on Steam,
What,
and I'm
the
sure I can
enhanced
import my character or something.
The enhanced edition comes with 1, 2, and the DLCs.
No, they came
It
out
doesn't?
with Enhanced Edition 1 and Enhanced Edition 2 and all the DLCs, and now what you bought was a bundle.
I got it for
Oh,
free
got
off
it.
of Amazon. It was just the one game,
Oh,
that's all
I
right.
see. Okay. Yeah.
and,
Siege
and
of
my character
Dragonspear
is
is
just
like
like a
an
file, so I can move the
Siege
file.
of Dragonspear is like a in between 1 and 2, but we're definitely going to play 2 at some point, and we need to knock it out while it's here.
All right, that's fine.
Also, I just want to say, John, even though it might take a while, those games are coming eventually. Coming for you. It's going to be a. It's
If The
gonna be
Last
a
of Us
great
2
vote.
gets voted on to play on the show, I'm going to be legitimately angry with you because you decided that 2 days after I explained to you that I do not want to play that game.
And 3 months after I said that I hated that South Park game, and it
Yep.
was my second least favorite game we've ever played.
Yep.
Well, if we take long enough with Baldur's Gate, maybe Jim will replace one of them with Final Fantasy 16.
Maybe. Who knows? When does
I
that
was
come
thinking
out?
about that. I was thinking about that.
Is there a
Strangers
release
in
date?
Paradise also an option.
Ooh, now
Comes
that's
out
a better
June
option.
22nd, I think. Yeah.
Strangers with Paradise sounds great.
Strangers
It
in
does
Paradise,
sound
Crisis
great.
Core, Final
Anyway,
Fantasy 16. I mean, that's a
there
great
are
vote
votes.
right there.
But no matter what you have, if you're a Patreon of any level, we thank you eventually over the course of a few episodes. I make sure that everyone gets thanked. It just takes a little while. If you don't get thanked, please let me know because there might be something wrong with your membership. Anyway, so why don't we start with Vanessa thanking some people?
Okie dokie. I'm ready. I just need to.
She was definitely paying attention.
I was definitely paying attention. Definitely
I can go
have
first.
notes up and
go first.
ready to go.
I'd like to thank Sean Gonzalez, Dylan Rowe, Matt, hang on, that's me, Joseph, Bree Girth, Ward Childress, Michael Tully Klein Jr., what happened to Joshin? Wow, that's
Yeah.
a great question.
That is a
and
great
Justin
question.
Rash. Jim, what happened to Joshin?
I'd like to thank Robert T, Aaron, Serenity Now Little, Ron, Slightly Aroused Grandma, David Shook, Mostly Rational Person, Baldur's Gatekeep Gaslight Girl Boss, Washington Wind, and Jethro.
Damn, that could have
I'd
been
like to
a
thank-
shmush mouth answer.
I'd like to thank, for Square Roots Podcast, I'm Stim Stanks. I'm Katie Tolman. Oh no, David Arnold, Keysby Knight, Huxley Iguana, Benjamin Hilberg, Tracy, and my battery is low.
I'd like to thank Butts on Parade, Brian Pitt, Sergeant Spaghetti, Shin Megami Tensei 3 in 2023. I'm all for this. That should go on my list of JRPG-ass JRPG games. Amanda Douglas, Wishbone is Gay, Arthur, Andy Best.
John, I would like you to explain how you have 2 lists of games for your vote, and one of them is the gym punishment list.
That's totally dependent on what game wins from my vote.
Yes. If it's one of
South
2
Park
games,
wins,
I'm angry
John is
about.
screwing over Jim.
Yes, I will.
Oh, yeah.
So I for my vote list, which comes after Jim's vote list, if one of those 2 games we mentioned we don't want to play on Jim's list gets voted in, then we're going to play like the most grognard, Suikoden 2, just real in the weeds anime JRPG, like Resonance of Fate. Oh, you got to triangulate your shooting position to maximize damage efficiency. Yeah, and Jim will have to finish it.
Well,
Speaking of Ahmed Best, did you guys know that he was on the new episode of The Mandalorian?
Oh, cool. Was it
Not
as
Jar Jar Binks?
Okay.
As a kick-ass Jedi? That was cool. That show's cool.
Send us an email.
Don't do it.
Jim, you say that.
No, wait. That's it for this episode of Square Roots. If you'd like to have an email read on the show, our email address is squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. We have a Facebook group. It's called the Square Roots Podcast Group for smart, cool, very attractive people. And find us on Twitter @SquareRootsPod.
John and I are dancing because it's Bear Day.
Please rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, Ghana, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks to Stephen Morris for our Square Roots theme. You can find Stephen on Twitter as Beige on Beige and on YouTube with the same name. Links in the show notes.
All right. Well, for Square Roots, I'm Jim Banks.
I'm Matthew Van Zant.
I'm Johnny Brandon.
I'm wishing you a happy Bear Day 2023. Go round.
It is, yes, it is bear as in the animal bear.
Happy TBRU, everyone. That was last weekend. My friend went and he did get COVID.
I don't appear to have gotten COVID from Dave Matthews, so that's exciting.
That's great. All right, bye.
I didn't get a chance to kiss him.
Last time on Square Roots, nestled atop the cliffs that rise from the Sword Coast, the citadel of Candlekeep houses the finest and most comprehensive collection of writings on the face of Faerun. You have spent most of your 20 years of life within this keep, under the tutelage of the sage Gorion. Lately, Gorion has been growing distant from you, as if some grave matter weighs heavily on his heart. You cannot help but feel that something is terribly wrong. In Baldur's Gate.
They keep saying tutelage in this game, and I keep thinking that's someone training you how to fart.
Oh, that's the South Park game you're thinking of.
Oh.
John's always talking about that game.
Yeah. Point of order.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone
I see
else
it too.
see yeah.
What?
Yeah, I think I need to sign out of Zoom and sign back in. I think I signed in under the wrong account.
Uh-oh.
Okey-dokey.
Can we do that real quick?
Yeah. Do we need to
Let's
end
start-
this meeting and start a new
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, I'll start a new one.
All right. Bye. All right, so it's just me now. I guess we're signing out of this meeting.
Well, I hopefully will get a message with a new link because I don't know. I'm just vamping here. I don't know what to tell you about. I mean, you're gonna hear my level up anyways. It's fine. Oh, there's a new link. Okay.